The Boston Celtics will be the NBA's next dynasty. And we'll get into that. We'll all give the reasons why. But before we do that, I want to let you guys know that we'll be talking about the NBA Finals, obviously. We're going to talk about the 76ers off-season plans. We'll talk about the NBA Finals a little bit more, as well as get into some other things. But before we do that, I got some questions for you guys, and I need to know if you're buying or selling this. So my first question is that this NBA Finals will be heavily dictated on Jrue Holiday's defense.
Mm-hmm.
Are you buying or selling that? Does Jrue Holiday's defense win the Celtics this championship?
I think it's going to have a lot to do with it, Ron. Mars Blackman, what's up, brother? Ticket TV. I think it's going to have a lot to do with it. The Celtics are a very switch-heavy team on the perimeter, with Jrue Holiday switching with Derek White, Jaylen Brown switching with Jayson Tatum, and vice versa. But when we get into the meat and potatoes of games, Jrue Holiday has the assignment. He had the assignment with Tyrese Halliburton before he went down. He had the assignment with Donovan Mitchell, and he had the assignment with Jimmy Butler last year. And Milwaukee just did him dirty. They did. They just did him dirty. Now, if anybody's under the impression that Jrue Holiday is going to shut Luka down or he's going to shut Kyrie Irving down, that's just not true. When you get to spaces like this, you're not shutting down any superstar. Now, can you slow him down? Sure. Absolutely, you can slow him down. Jrue Holiday does a great job in throwing guys off rhythm, keeping the ball away from guys, not just keeping the ball away from guys, being physical with them. So I think that with him in this series, I think he can do a good job in making a difference in this series defensively. I do.
Mars, are you selling that Jrue Holiday's defense wins them the championship?
I think it will be a big factor. I'm interested to see who he's the primary matchup of. I mean, they're going to switch anyway, but I'm interested to see like how they use him, because they don't really use him on smaller guards like this season at all. That's more so Derek White. So are they going to use him like OKC use Lou Dort and use him as like the stocky small defender who's going to get under Luka? Or are they going to use him maybe on Kyrie, or maybe they're going to use him as someone who's going to plug gaps and he's going to be roaming off Derrick Jones? I don't know what they're going to do with him. But I think the benefit of Jrue Holiday is that he can do all of those things. So whatever Joe Mazzulla wants him to do, he can do at a high level. And I think that's something Dallas are going to have to adjust for, is if Jrue Holiday is going to be switching, can they punish him with bigs? So like Derek Lively's not the best finishing around the basket if it's not a lob, but they're going to be able to punish that with post-ups. I don't think so. So can they get away with that? Or if he's guarding Luka on the ball, you're going to be mismatch hunting, trying to get Jrue off of you, which is going to take around 9 seconds because of the way he gets through screens. So I think Jrue can change the series defensively, but do I think he's going to be the reason they win it on defense? No, but I think he's going to be heavily influential. So I think he's going to be a key factor. So I guess I'm buying it. With all of that being said, I guess I'm buying it.
Mars, can he, when I say change the course of a series, because he did that when he played in Milwaukee. He did that defensively when they played against Phoenix. I feel like he changed the course of that series. He started picking up the pickup point with Chris Paul after game 2. The pickup point got higher. They slowed down their transition game.
Chill against who?
Against Phoenix when he was in Milwaukee.
No. Who specifically?
Oh, I'm sorry. Against Chris Paul. Yes,
okay.
Against Chris Paul. Yes, against Chris Paul, and the pickup point was higher. He slowed down their transition game. He made it difficult on him. So with him doing that in this series, I know Luka wants to get back to the ball. Luka's been giving me that effort defensively, but I know he wants to get back to the ball. So him being a bigger guard, and to your point, you say they don't put him on smaller guards. For Luka to be a bigger guard and Jrue to be physical, I think this could be a really good matchup for Jrue Holiday, considering that he likes to be physical. He's going to have a challenge dealing with a bigger guard in Luka, but is he going to be able to slow him down in transition? Dallas has one of the fastest transition games in the league. I think they're right outside the top 5 in transition. This playoffs, I don't think they've been playing that fast, but I do think that they still play fast. So I think this will be a good test for Jrue Holiday being able to slow down Luka.
I think the benefit comes that even if, like, because I don't think you stop Luka. I don't think that exists. I don't think you're ever gonna be like, this guy's the Luka stopper, other than Ben Simmons when he was in his prime. But I think the benefit is with Jrue. It's like similar to like how the Pistons played Shaq. He's gonna cook, but if you don't have to send doubles, or you don't feel the need to send doubles, and you just are willing to accept what happens, which is we're gonna make it tough. He's gonna have to shoot over the top. He's gonna have to make he's gonna have to make tough jumpers. He's not gonna get many easy ones. And we live with those results. You're then not putting your defense in rotation. You're not having to overcommit. You're not having to leave guys open for dunks and all of those things because you're not sending extra reinforcements to try and help on Luka. And I think that's something Boston are able to do. Now, in the pick and roll, it's going to be difficult because you're probably going to have to put 2 on the ball anyway, just to allow Jrue to recover if he is guarding Luka. But in isolation, I think you get the benefit of guys can stay home more. You can stay home on Kyrie because they tried to put Kyrie on the strong side next to Luka so that you can't help off. But now you feel comfortable leaving Jrue relatively on that island, and you can help off in other situations on drives if he gets beat or whatever. I think that's what Drew's able to do. He's able to provide you with that. Whereas if like it was a lesser defender, it's like, oh, we gotta send help, we gotta send doubles, and now Luka can just destroy your defense on the backside, and it's like, oh, GG's, we lost. But Jrue doesn't really give that up. So that's why I think he can change the series.
And on top of that, Mars, to add to your point, a lot of people don't talk nearly as much about, I feel like the Celtics offense is going to be their best defense. So putting guys like Luka, putting guys like Kyrie Irving, putting them on the defense. And Jrue Holiday is actually really good at that. He did that. He did a really good job at that in Indiana. He did a good job at that in Cleveland, where he was more physical with Evan Mobley. He was really physical with Pascal Siakam, getting those guys caught in switches, making guys like Luka guard, making guys like Kyrie Irving. And I don't mean, when I say guard, Mars, I don't mean, one pass and go. No. I mean putting these guys in action and making them guard for stretches. And it may not sound like it's a long time where you make a guy guard for 5 or 10 seconds, but you do. You take a lot of energy when you're doing that, when now they got to get back on the offensive end, when you're consistently putting those guys in action. And I don't feel like Jrue is a detriment on offense. I feel like he's a really good offensive player. So if he can put those guys, if they can put him in a situation where he puts those guys in action and makes those guys guard, like Luka, where he's knocking down open shots, he's getting to the rim, where he's making Kyrie Irving guard, I think that that's definitely going to be a big problem for Dallas.
I agree. Drew's a big factor in this series.
Yo, Ticket, talk to me. You think Jrue Holiday's defense moves the needle and gets the Celtics a win?
Nah, they don't move no needle, man. I just think when you're dealing with special guys, man, and Jrue Holiday's older now, right? And I don't think that the scheme is going to be about within the coaching. And I think that J Kidd, you giving J Kidd all these days now to come up with schemes. The Celtics are more of a predictable team. You know what they're going to do. They don't really switch up on what they do too much. And so with that being said, you know what I'm saying? J Kidd, I got him just coaching circles around this guy, man, as far as, how they're going to attack their defense, because we know the Celtics like to switch a lot. You know what I'm saying? And you very rarely are you going to see guys trying to fight through on that team. They like to switch. They believe that they can switch, especially, with the personnel they have. And I think that is going to be a problem, because I think that Luka and Kyrie, the only thing they're going to do is headhunt matchups that they feel more favorable against. You know what I'm saying? That entire series, because they know that team is going to switch instead of fight through screens. And again, Joe Mazzulla, to me, he is not a guy that has shown that he can make proper adjust. They haven't even forced him in this playoffs to really show that he can make proper adjustments. And then when he was shown, or he was forced to make adjustments, he couldn't make them last year when he needed to make them the most. And so for me, defensively, I think that X's out Jrue. We saw what Jimmy Butler did to Jrue Holiday, straight up. He had Jrue Holiday ready to tap out, and that was a couple of years ago. Now you're in a situation where you're putting him against a more cerebral guy in either Kyrie or Luka. There ain't no way in hell his defense gonna make a difference. If he's out there on the island, you got problems. If he's on an island, and it's a lot of rain, that's why y'all hear those drops. If he's on an island, bro, there's a lot of problems, man. If he gets put out there on the island against Luka, Kyrie Irving, bro, he does not want that one. And then here's the problem: the Celtics cannot get into a situation where they're trying to send doubles, because that's exactly where you're going to get beat. Because now you're going to give those other guys open shots. PJ Washington open corner 3-point shots. You can't hedge up and trap on screens because Lively, Gafford is rolling. They're live threats at the basket. You know what I'm saying? The Mavs move the ball well, and they throw the ball to the rim well. They got guys like Kyrie, Luka that can come off those screens, throw the ball up, and put those alley-oops up well. So, I don't think that Jrue Holiday makes that big of a difference in this series, not because he can't play, but because of the coaching, bro. I think the coaching is going to be the same the whole time.
So, Ticket, quick question for you, Ticket, because you talked about predictability, which is a valid point, because the Celtics shoot the long ball more than anybody in the whole league. They're the best long ball shooting team in the game. So when you talk about predictability, couldn't you say the same thing for the Dallas Mavericks? I mean, Luka has the basketball in his hands the majority of the time, and they play off of him. It's not like they run a bunch of different things outside of Luka. It's Luka. He's creating offense for PJ Washington. He's creating offense for Derek Lively. He's creating offense for Daniel Gafford. He's creating offense for all of these guys. So couldn't the same thing be said about him?
No, I disagree because he's got Kyrie. See, that's the thing. That's the X factor, is that when you got a guy like Kyrie, it's not just going through him now. Now you got another guy who can break down the defense, get his own bucket, and Kyrie has shown decent playmaking abilities as well in the playoffs. Remember the breakdown, slip up, alley-oop pass, I forget who it was, whether it was Gafford or whether it was Lively, in that big game last series. Things that Kyrie Irving have done. That Kyrie Irving can put the defense in compromising positions and set guys up too. So it doesn't always have to be Luka Doncic, even though most of the time it is Luka. And here's the thing. Luka is so great at what he does. It doesn't matter what you do. If you send a double team to him, he's going to find an open guy. If you play him one-on-one, he's going to burn you. So pick your poison. However you want to pick it. And if he wants to come out on demon time in game one, hitting step back threes from 30 feet, you're done. Like he did against the T-Wolves, you're done, bro. So, I mean, you pick your poison. You know what I'm saying? If you want to trap him, blitz him, take the ball in his hands, you throw it over to Kyrie. Let Kyrie break you down. If you want to do it, to me, the Boston Celtics are in major trouble. And the reason why is because now that you're in this type of situation where, again, I don't trust Joe Mazzulla in these situations. I don't trust him to switch it up and to try different things and to have guys fighting over screens, staying with their man. I don't trust him to do things like that. He's going to stick to what he sticks to. He do the same thing offensively, and he's going to do the same thing defensively. Whenever he got problems offensively, what does he do? Shoot more threes. He's just like Ty Lue for the Clippers. What happens when another team goes big, y'all? What does Ty Lue do? He always goes small.
Sure.
So, he don't change up. So his predictability have always been there. The problem is that teams have been hurt, and they haven't really been able to exploit that at full strength because most of the teams they played, their star guys were hurt for 2 or more games in the series. So guys weren't really able to really exploit that. But the Dallas Mavs, coming into a series like this with J. Kidd, a cerebral point guard himself, able to break down what these guys doing defensively, how they want to manipulate matchups, that's what they're going to do in this series. So I expect to see Jrue Holiday starting on him, but I expect to see Kyrie and Luka Doncic hunting matchups that they feel like are more favorable for them. You know what I'm saying? And again, you can't bite on those Luka pump fakes because they will call the foul quick. You know what I'm saying? Luka will get the whistle in this series. And so I just think that, it's going to be one of them things where I think the Boston Celtics are going to have to mix it up a little bit if they want to win.
Right.
Offensively and defensively, bro. I don't think it's just going to be shooting threes, Shieldtown, in this series going to win you the championship. I don't believe that.
I could get with that. Now, with your idea of him, your idea of Mazzulla not being able to adjust. Well, if you remember last year when they got down 3-0 in that series against the Miami Heat, well, he ended up putting Jayson Tatum in the middle of the zone and took Al Horford out of the middle of that zone. And it worked because Jayson Tatum became more of a playmaker. Now you got guys like Derek White. You got guys like Marcus Smart now making more shots. That's an adjustment that he made.
Let me ask you a question. What did Game 4 come down to? Was Game 4 a blowout? Game 4
last season?
Yeah, with them in Miami. Was that a blowout? Did that come down to the last shot?
To be honest with you, I think they handled
my. Are you thinking about the Derek White game winner? I'm just
that was game 6. That was game 6 last year.
Right. Well, Game 4 was a blowout, right?
I don't think it was a blowout, but I do think that they handled Miami. They got back. That was the one game when they got back.
I'll check.
Yeah, because I think they got back in the series in that game.
I'm trying to figure out that game.
Game 4 was a blowout. The Celtics won by 17.
Right.
They won by 7. They won by
And
7.
then they won game 5 by 13. Then they
Right.
won game 6 on the Derek White tipping at the buzzer.
Yep.
And then they lost game 7 by 19.
Right. They got blown out.
So yeah, I mean, okay, he made an adjustment, bro, but
Right.
I don't see him making a significant adjustment that's gonna stop Luka, bro. Bro, Luka and Kyrie, bro, have seen every defense known to mankind, bro. It's all gonna be about whether they're on or off, bro. That's it. That is it, bro. And I'm banking on this series. I'm banking, yes, because when you got players like that, Chilltown, that's that great.
Well,
the defense don't matter. The defense don't matter when you're that great.
I don't want to argue.
It's all about whether you're going to make a missed shot. Whenever we saw the all-time great Chilltown, you can go from Mike to Larry to A. Let's go to Larry Bird.
You don't even got to go that far back. So your example right there. So when I knew that Shaq was going to go 27, 13, and 6.
Regardless of what they threw at him.
Tim Duncan was just going to cancel him out because you ain't going to stop Tim Duncan neither. Right. So now what is this going to come down to? Because essentially what you telling me, Ticket, is Luka going to get his. Kyrie Irving is going to get his. That means that these other guys are going to be the difference in this series. And I feel like the Boston Celtics got more of the other guys to make a difference than what Dallas has.
But I disagree with that.
Here's why I feel like that. Here's why I feel like that, Ticket. I feel like that because Dallas, not Dallas, all of those other guys that Dallas has, they require Luka to get them involved more. Derek White's offense isn't predicated on Jrue Holiday getting him involved, right? Pritchard's offense is not predicated on them.
But they got guys for Derek White.
Kristaps Porzingis is not. That's not his offense. He's not worried about those guys getting him involved.
They got guys for Derek White. Mars talked about those athletes they picked up. Jones, Washington. They got guys for Derek White. Derek White ain't gonna be nothing all-time special in this series, man. Derek White gonna be on skates too. He out there trying to guard Kyrie Irving. He gonna have to pack a lunch too. So him, Jrue Holiday, Tatum, and Jaylen Brown, they all gonna have their hands full trying to deal with Luka and Kyrie. That's a lunch right there. And listen, I think it's gonna come down to this. I truly think it's gonna come down to this. I don't even think. I know as much as you say something about the role players, I think it's gonna be which two of the stars outshine in this series. And I think it's gonna be Luka and Kyrie that outshine Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And that's just all and I believe that Luka and Kyrie are going to vastly outplay Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I believe those two dudes are choke artists. I believe that they've been waiting to choke, and I believe that this is going to be the biggest choke job that they've ever pulled, that you've ever seen happen. And I believe that you will see it on this NBA Finals.
Bigger than 2011?
Bro, Chilltown, listen. The reason why I say the biggest choke job is because these guys already were in the finals before and choked. We saw that. We saw how they folded like a cheap tent.
So I just believe, man. Keep going.
I just truly believe, man, that Luka and Kyrie can get to another level that Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum cannot get to, and I believe that, bro.
Sure. Now, with that being said, Ticket, essentially what you're telling me is you're gonna see the same. Not only are you gonna see the same dudes that you saw from 2 years ago, you're gonna see worse dudes than you saw from 2 years ago.
Well, no, they can be the same. Hold on, they can be the same guys.
No, they can't be.
Hold on. Let me say this. They can be the same guys they were in that finals, and it's still not going to be enough. I ain't even saying worse than that. They can be the same guys, it's still not going to be enough. Listen, bro, Luka Doncic is a big gamer, bro. He's a big gamer. When you got guys like that are big gamers, bro, listen, and let's talk about something. We don't expect the role players to play well on the road. That's why you didn't hear me say nothing about the role players in the first games. They're on the road. I'm talking about Luka and Kyrie able to will you a win on the road and get a split. That's what I'm talking about. And then when you get back to Dallas, that's when it's gonna get uglier than a masterpiece sneaker. That's when PJ
That's not true, Ticket. I say I heard you. I'll listen to you.
That's when PJ Washington
talking about leaving them open, the shooters. Y'all talk about PJ Washington like he's Klay Thompson or something.
I didn't say. Hold on, my brother. Hold on 1 second. I never said that. I said on the road.
Right.
I'm not depending on them because I don't depend on those role players like that on the road in big game situations. At home, this is when I think PJ Washington can give you 14, 15 points in a game. This is when I think Gafford is going to give you 3 or 4 of those monstrous dunks, 3 or 4 blocks, and about 8, 9 rebounds. And then Lively comes in giving you a double-double off the bench, 10 points, 11 rebounds, something like that, a block. This is when Derek Jones comes in and gives you around 11 points and other little attributions that he puts to the game. These are the different things I'm talking about on the road, though.
Right.
On the road in game 1 or game 2, Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, to me, can reach a higher level than Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and anybody else that got on the Boston Celtics squad. And I truly believe that. I believe those two dudes can get you 1. And that's all they need to do on the road, in my opinion, in this series is get one. Because when it gets back to Dallas, it's going to be hard for the Boston Celtics to go into Dallas, into that environment, and win a playoff game in Dallas. I promise you that.
So two things, Ticket. So two things. Number one, the Boston Celtics are undefeated on the road in the playoffs this year. Undefeated. They don't have a loss on the road this year. That's number one.
Look who they play.
Two, I'm not done. Two, they've actually been really good on the road throughout their tenure in the playoffs. Number three, Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown are not the same guys that they were 2 years ago. That's what you're basing this off of. You basing this off what they were 2 years ago. You're basing this once again. You're basing this what you seen years ago. Number four, which is the most important thing. The Celtics have home court advantage. So with the Celtics,
that don't mean nothing. I'm not done.
I'm not done.
15 in the last
let him finish, Ticket. Let him finish.
Not
only. You never tell him let me finish. What the hell are you talking about?
I just let you talk, Ticket.
No, I'm talking to Ron. I ain't talking on Chill. I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to Ron. Ron don't never say to nobody else, let Ticket finish. He always say let them finish.
Did you cut him off or did he cut you off? If
no, you cut you off, they cut me off. Little Ox Bob cut me off.
The point that I'm making is how you feel about role players, right? And how you feel about how they play on the road. You're essentially telling us that Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic are good enough to get one game. Even though even if that's true, the Celtics also are awesome on the road. Not only are they awesome on the road,
broken teams. It doesn't make against broken. Hold on. Let me answer that. Hold on.
And I can say this.
Let me answer that with facts. Hold on. I'm gonna answer that with facts.
Same thing, Ticket. I can say the same thing.
They was hurt. Hold on. I'm gonna answer that with facts. Hold on. I want to answer what you just said with facts. You keep talking about the Celtics record on the road. Mars, if I'm not mistaken, was the Miami Heat full strength last year, even when they played them last year? No, Tyler Hero got hurt. He didn't play. These are facts. He's one of the key players, right? So let's start right there, right? Then the games they won on the road this year. How many of those games did Donovan Mitchell play?
I think 3 of the 5 games.
Okay, no. I said on the road, sucker. Oh. Now let's keep going. Now let's go to the first round. Go to the first round.
How many games?
Hold on.
I want to make sure I'm following you.
How many games?
I'm following you. I want to make
sure. How many games on the road? How many games when they were on the road did Jimmy Butler or did goddamn Terry Rozier play this year when they were in Miami on the road? None. So now when you're going to play Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic on the road, hopefully they're not going to be here. They're going to be there. So that's a difference. And then let me tell you this about home court. Right. In the last 30-some games at home, they're 15-15.
Right.
This is a team that won 60 games.
But they're not. They still keep going, Ticket. Keep going.
In the last 30 playoff games, they're only a 500 team at home. So that home court advantage don't mean nothing. That's why I tell you, I believe Luka Doncic and I believe that Kyrie Irving are good enough to get you one in Boston. Yep. Then when it comes to Dallas, now in comes the role players. I don't trust them raggedy ass role players for the Boston Celtics like you do. You trust
them raggedy ass ball. You trust them raggedy ass ball play. If they raggedy, then what the Dallas?
Yeah, no. I've seen the Dallas Mavericks. I've seen the Dallas Mavericks.
One of the best rotations in the league. That's not true.
That's a damn lie, man. You got that fake ass Eminem coming off the bench.
Get the hell out of here.
For the Boston Celtics, get out of here, man.
You ain't. First of all, you were the one who was talking about how bad Tim Hardaway was. You were the one who was talking about Exum, who was out the league last year. Yes, you did. You said that.
I never said nothing about Tim Hardaway.
Give me a break.
I never said. Hold on, come on. I said Tim Hardaway is a help. I said Tim Hardaway is a help that's been hurt. He hasn't been able to play. I never said nothing bad about Tim Hardaway. What I did was, and I was right, I told you that TJ McConnell was going to outplay that bum for the Boston Celtics, and he did last series. But they still didn't lose. Yeah. He's a bum. He didn't do shit last series, but he got outplayed. He got outplayed by TJ McConnell thoroughly. Those are facts. When you told me that, boy, so don't tell me about the Boston Celtics bench because they bench ain't do a damn thing last series. I ain't really see it.
That ain't true. Yes, they did.
They outplay. He ain't out. Hold on. So did old boy outplay?
Stop right there. Stop right there. Just because TJ McConnell outplayed Pritchard does not mean that bench wasn't good. That's not true.
Man,
that is not true. If you look at what if you look at what Cornette did, you look at what Hauser did, the fact that Tillman was involved in all of that stuff. All of that stuff that they were doing.
So you think these guys were
involved in that. Your logic is based solely on Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. For you to tell me that the home court I'm not done. You told me that you're telling me that because Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are who they are, and that you don't care about role players on the road, that means that these guys are going to carry. That means that those role players aren't going to be effective at all. That means
that's not true. I'm saying on the road. I'm saying on the road. Hold on. Let me say this to your brain. Let me say this to your brain, brother. We all know this. Role players usually play better at home, brother. You know this. On the road, I'm depending on the two superstars to get me a game. That's what I'm saying. At home, when the crowd is in the game, the role players are more comfortable. I'm trusting all the role players from the Dallas Mavericks more than I am Peyton Pritchard and that fake-ass Eminem Sam Hauser they got over there. Sit down and shut the hell up, man.
Shut the hell up. I'm not. Get the hell out of here. I'm not trying to hear that. No.
All right,
fake
y'all.
ass Eminem is fired up.
I got a few super chats, so we're gonna dive into these, and then I want to get some context on.
And Bob, Monica McNutt looking for Bob.
And I want to get some context on how the Celtics were built. And then I want to go over their last 8 years, how they've kind of got to this point. Obviously, they haven't won a championship, but they've came very close. So I want to dive into the past and see how they got here. Yep. But my man Drink More Water sent through a super chat and said, had a dream last night of Luka scoring 65 points versus the Celtics. LOL. That got me thinking, will we see in our lifetime someone breaking Elgin Baylor's finals record of 61 points? It's been 62 years and only MJ has gotten close.
Why are you lying? You did not have no dream like that. You lying.
Bob, Luka's that guy, Bob.
He could be that guy. That's fine. That's fine. But you know he ain't had that dream though. That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom line. Hold on, chicken. Hold on, bro. I want to get to the bottom line here. He ain't have no dream about Luka Doncic having 65 points. I ain't saying he's not incredible.
How you know that this dude ain't have a dream about him, man? How you gonna tell him what he's dreaming about? Bob?
Come on, man.
What nonsense is that?
Bob, the type of dude tell Mark.
Y'all let somebody say anything to you and just be like, okay, that's cool. See, I just don't like grown men just woofing in my face. I can't stand it.
Wait a minute. So why is it ridiculous to think that the
dude
had a wait a minute? Why is it ridiculous to think that the dude had a dream last night that Luka got busy? Why is that ridiculous? Not Ticket. I'm sorry, Bob. Why?
It's the odds.
Because you don't think Luka could score 60? Is that why?
I think it's more realistic that he did have it than him having that dream. I just don't believe Drink More Water. I've seen him lie too many times in the chat. You see, Chill. I go off a person's resume and track record. If you done lied to me once, I'm gonna assume you lying all the time. He always lying in the chat.
I got you.
Y'all still should drink more water, whether he's lying or not. But I gotta ask you guys: do we think Luka gets over 40 in this series?
Yes,
I think he's
at least once for sure.
Yeah, I think
he hasn't got 40 in the playoffs yet. Just so you guys know.
You talking about this year? Hold on, Mars.
Yeah, this year. Yeah, this year. Yeah.
I think he's good for it, Mars.
Yeah, I think. If you said over or under 0.5 games over 40, I think most people would take that over. I think
Mars, what is the average against the Celtics this year?
35.
Don't even.
You know, okay. Ron said 35. I'm gonna take that.
Either him and Tatum both average 35, which I'm pretty sure that's the case, or they had 35 in one game against each other. But I'm pretty sure.
I know there was the game where Luka went crazy in the first half.
Yeah,
he averaged 35.
That was against. He averaged
35, 15, and 12.
Yeah, Ron. The fool might have 50 or 60 in the game this series. If he averaged that means he's comfortable, bro. You averaging 35 against somebody, Bob. That's comfortability right there, bro. Bob, how many people you gonna let average 35 against you? It's gonna be all 5 fouls.
Why are we? Wait. Stop right here. Why are we talking average? That's what I was about to say, Mars. Why are we talking about this dude like that's extras? He went 34-9-9 this year. So he did that on Tuesday.
No. But listen what Bob
35, 15, and 12.
35, 15, and 12, bro. That's
35, 15, and 12.
Bro, that's Chilltown. That is.
And by the way, they lost both those games to the.
That's 2K numbers with the cheat codes on easy.
They lost those games, Chill. You right, but
and one of them was a blowout.
Yeah, man. But still, hearing those numbers.
The blowout game came after they made the trades, but yeah, they still are playing better now.
Yeah,
they still are playing better now than they were. Yeah,
we're playing way better now. Yes,
it's hard.
Okay. Celtics and 7. Then Celtics and 7.
Man, bro.
Now that I'll put that together. Celtics and 7.
That's crazy, Bob. I don't know, Bob.
I think the Celtics are just better. Like I hear what you're saying. Like the Luka and Kyrie effect is real. I can't debate around that. But I just feel like the team is just better, bro. I think they're ready.
Man, I don't know. I don't think. I'm gonna say this to you, bro. I don't think top to bottom the Celtics team is better than what we're seeing from the Mavs right now.
I think it is absolutely.
I'm saying with the contributions. Forget Luke and Kyrie right now. Right. Let's think about the contributions of Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively, Jones,
Right.
PJ Washington, bro. And then we ain't even.
Yeah, but why talk about those contributions, but then discredit the contributions of Derek White, Jrue Holiday, Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard?
Right now, Al Horford, I'm not worried about him. He can't hit no threes no more. I'm not worried about him. He's old.
7 of them. He had a game where he had 7 threes.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, then what we doing?
What did he shoot for the series, Showtime?
No, don't do that. Don't say he can't hit threes no more. Ticket. He had a game where he had 7 threes.
But what did he? I'm saying, but he shot like 29% for the series. What did he shoot? Like in the 20s from the three? I saw him shooting a whole lot of bricks. So, but anyways, like I said though, dog, he's not the same. Hauser, and then we talking about going to the bench. So when you talking about going to the bench, you talking about Hauser. You talking about him. Horford.
Hauser and Cornette.
You talking about? Yeah, I'm not, man. Them dudes is whack, man.
Hauser and Cornette don't come in and make a lot of mistakes. They might not fill up the stat sheet, but they don't come in and make mistakes, do boneheads.
Right, but those guys,
they're there and they're getting the guys rest as they need to.
But
the guys when you look at Al Horford and Peyton Pritchard off the bench, those two. Well, if KP's, I'm sure KP's healthy. That's the report I've seen. Yeah, he'll be there for game 1. So I think the Celtics bench. Or the Celtics role players, let's just call it the Celtics role players. The others, I think they're better than Dallas.
I disagree, man.
But like I said, Tiki, before I got on here, I heard you talking about PJ Washington like he's the second coming of 2006 Ray Allen. What
is PJ Washington average?
I'm not 13.
Hold on, no, I'm not saying that.
11, 13,
I'm saying that
11.
PJ Washington. Yeah, PJ Washington has been big, so he's probably to me he's giving you. Hold on.
He's averaging 13 and a half.
Yeah, so that's right around the same.
Those are good numbers. Those are good numbers.
But hold on, Bob. That's right around the same numbers as your boy White, right? For the playoffs.
Derek White's averaging 16.
Now for the playoffs.
Derek White in the playoffs is averaging 18.
Oh, he's at
17.8. 17.8.
My thing is that besides the points, let's get away from the points though. I can't really compare Derek White and PJ Washington because Derek White does so much more for the squad.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you on that. No, I agree with you on that. But I think you downplayed the impact that Jones has had, that PJ Washington has had, and then when you combine Lively and Gafford, they've been giving you damn near 20 and 20 with about 4 or 5 blocks. When you combine those two.
Also, PJ ain't no punk either. You've been seeing. Remember this? Remember when he played?
No, he with the drama. 100%. Ron. He with the drama.
Got to do with anything?
No, that helps a lot.
That's
a lot. Like when you look just looking at the other team, like yo, y'all not finna push us around. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna bring the fight to you. I'm gonna let you know that we with whatever you guys is with. I don't
think the Celtics try to bully though. I don't think the Celtics really come like that.
No, they don't.
I don't see it at least.
Nah, they get bullied. They get bullied.
Yeah.
They get bullied. No, yeah, they got it. We saw them get bullied.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Hold on.
We
saw him bullied, and the only dude that stepped up, he ain't even on the team no more. He playing with the Charlotte.
That was Grant Williams. Yes, that was
Grant.
Williams.
Talking about
that was last year.
No. I'm saying, but these are the same guys, and then you bought on even more cupcakes. Porzingis.
I'm talking about getting pushed around. I'm not talking about Jimmy getting buckets.
Porzingis is Terry Clough.
I'm not talking about Jimmy Butler getting buckets and talking shit. I'm talking about getting pushed around, actually getting physically.
They did get pushed around.
No, they're not. They're not getting physically moved around the court. Nobody's pushing them off of rebounds. They're not out there looking soft. You see, that's the thing with you, Ticket. You like to talk. You like the surface shit, the rah talking and just yapping and shit. I'm talking about actually getting bullied. I'm talking about
they got bullied by the Miami Heat.
I'm talking about getting physical.
I watched them get bullied by the Miami Heat.
Physicality, Ticket. I'm talking about physicality. I'm talking about bite, not bark. I don't know if you can relate to that. I'm talking about
when you talk about them getting bullied by the Miami Heat, you talking about one guy. You talking about one guy?
No, I'm talking about the whole. I'm talking about
No, you're not. No, you're not. You are not.
I'm about to give you names.
I'm listening.
I'm about to give you names, brother. Brother, them dudes punked them dudes. Them dudes was in them dudes' face. They was punking them dudes. And guess what? It was not only just Jimmy, it was Kyle Lowry too. And Witcher had to run up there. And he was the only one that was willing to stand up was Grant. Grant was the only one that came in the game that was willing to stand on business.
I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. I ain't gonna lie about
Jimmy
that.
Was taking their soul. He was taking their soul.
Somebody got to stand up to him. Somebody had to do it.
I thought it was gonna be Al Horford, but he ain't even do it. Jimmy and them, they was taking their soul. They was pushing them around. They was bullying them. They was punking them. They was beating them to the 50-50 ball.
And then the series changed. And then the series
but no. And then they got closed out. And then they got closed out.
And we know why that happened. We know why that happened. But that's neither here nor there. They lost. They definitely
right.
lost.
But what I'm saying is y'all got a bunch of pretty boys with S curls over there. Everybody respect that.
It's only one dude. It's only one dude. And you think that these dudes is soft. That's the bottom line to all of this thing.
What one dude is soft over there, Chill?
That's what he thinks it's Jayson Tatum. That's what he thinks it is.
Okay.
No, I think it's more than Jayson Tatum. I think it's more than
You said they got a bunch of dudes over there with S curls, and it's only one.
Yeah, I think Jayson Tatum soft.
You think
hold on. Let me finish.
That's why, Ron. That's why I feel like this series is going to settle a lot of narratives. This series
but let me finish.
Go ahead.
But you asked me a question. So Jayson Tatum soft, Porzingis soft, right? Those two guys right there off the top. I'm telling you, they Terry Claw soft. Then Peyton Pritchard, he's soft. I ain't never seen him be hard, so he's soft. Then the other dude, Sam Hauser. Hold on, Sam Hauser. He look like he'd do an ad for Suavitel because he's Terry Claw soft, right? So now
Peyton Pritchard can take your lunch, stop playing, bro. Peyton Pritchard ain't soft about Peyton Pritchard. You just saying that because he's the white boy on the squad, bro.
Jaylen Brown's supposed to be y'all goon. But he run around looking like he got diarrhea all the time, humped over when he running on the court. He running on the court like he got to go take a dump every second. Then we talk about Jrue Holiday. I saw him get pumped by Jimmy Butler. Ain't do nothing. So don't tell me this. I watched Jrue Holiday get his heart taken out his chest and thrown in the trash can in front of him. He didn't do a damn thing about it. And Jimmy told him about it to his face. He ain't do nothing. Am I lying,
that make him
Ron?
soft? So that make him soft? Does that make him soft? Are you serious right now? That make him soft? Hell no, that don't make him soft.
Man, get out of here, bro. If you gonna tell me, hold on. If you gonna tell me when Jimmy Butler,
one guy that's fighting, if one guy fights one guy and he gets beat up by this
one
guy,
that means
he's straight drop. And he's
no. I'm talking about with
when in reality, these teams, this Boston Celtics team, ain't nothing soft about Jrue Holiday. Nothing. It's soft about that dude. There's nothing soft about him. That's number one. Derek White, he ain't soft. Jaylen Brown, he's not soft. You don't win 64 games and march through the playoffs like these dudes did and be soft.
We watched. Hold on.
Making up.
I watched Jrue Holiday.
I can say the same thing about them dudes. The same thing.
Hold on. But Chilton, let me ask you a question.
Holiday is soft.
Did Jimmy Butler? Hold on, Chilton. I'm gonna ask you a question, Shield. Did Jimmy Butler not take Jrue Holiday?
He outplayed him.
No, I didn't ask you about outplay him. No, I didn't ask you that. Bro, hold on, chill down. With all your credibility, hold on. With all your credibility on basketball, hold on, chill. With all your credibility on basketball right now, let's just tell the truth. We ain't got to cap. We ain't got to sell our soul for nobody. Let's just tell the truth, bro, and keep it 100.
Okay.
That series, Jimmy Butler took that Negro heart.
That don't mean soft, ticket. That doesn't mean he's soft.
Wait. Chill down. Hold on. Chill down. If I'm locking you up, getting buckets on you, and talking shit, you saying I own you, and you don't do nothing. You soft.
No, that doesn't mean that. Soft. No, that does not mean that.
Go ahead, Ron. If somebody in the court tell you they own you, Ron, why they busting your ass? So you soft, you don't do nothing.
So if that's true, then I guess Clyde Drexler was soft. I guess David Robinson was soft. Julius Randle soft because Jimmy Butler did the same thing to the Knicks last year. So Julius Randle soft. Jalen Brunson is soft. If you're doing that right there, ticket off of one series, you telling me that this dude, even though 100% he bust Jrue Holiday ass, but to call him soft, that is so disingenuous.
Okay,
no
so
way.
let me address. Hold on, let me address you what you said with facts. Why I say they soft. Remember when Draymond Green pulled that boy pants down Jaylen Brown in the playoffs like he ain't do nothing? He Terry Claw soft. Draymond Green went there and punked them boys in the finals the other year. They saw. Them dudes ain't want no smoke. Draymond went in there, was pulling their pants down, crazy fouling their ass, throwing them around the court, talking shit to them. Dudes ain't do nothing.
Bro, you a liar, bro. Jaylen Brown was going straight at Draymond Green.
No, he wasn't.
Jaylen Brown was going straight at Draymond Green. Stop lying,
Like I said before, this ain't cap. Jimmy, the whole league was talking. Hold on, the whole league was talking about what Jimmy Butler did. He got there on Jrue Holiday. Nobody can believe he
nobody. I'm not denying that. He kicked Jrue Holiday's ass.
And then he talked shit to him and he ain't do nothing,
100% he did, Ticket.
He told him, Jill. He told him I own you.
Him soft, though, Ticket.
Chill down. If a dude,
No,
I'm gonna say something to you. I'm gonna tell you the rules of engagement. Chill, Tim.
No,
here's the rules of engagement. Hold on, chill. Here's the rules of engagement, chill. If I'm busting your ass and I'm telling you I own you and I'm your daddy and you don't do shit to me, nigga, you soft.
No, that ain't true. That's not.
You don't do shit.
That ain't true. What?
That is not.
Do
true.
shit like what? Do what?
So Ron, hold on, Ron.
Do what?
So Ron, be real, Ron. If you on the court, Ron, if you on the court,
what
Ron,
is he supposed to
and
do?
the dude is busting your ass, you supposed to be a lockdown defender, but he's destroying you.
He's supposed to swing
He
on
say
him.
I own you and I'm your daddy.
Yeah, that's what he's supposed to do.
You ain't soft. You don't do nothing wrong. You ain't soft.
Swing on him.
You ain't
That's what he's
soft.
supposed to do. He was supposed to swing on him to show that he ain't soft.
No,
he's
supposed to step his game up.
Even though this is
He's
about
supposed to
basketball,
step his game up.
Jrue Holiday couldn't do
on him.
anything with. He couldn't do anything with him. So every time Luka is busting whomever's ass he's busting and laughing, I guess those dudes are soft too. Every last one of them.
To the brother, hold on.
He
To the
goes up
brother in
against.
the comments. To the brother in the comments
he
that
goes-
Kobe got punched in the face and did nothing. You lying. He swung back. Stop lying, boy. That's a lie. That's a blatant lie. So we're not even gonna do that. We're not even gonna lie. Jrue Holiday let that man. Jrue Holiday let that man.
He didn't let him do
Wow,
anything.
Hold on.
He didn't let him do anything.
Jrue Holiday was an
Stop
all.
that right now.
Hold on,
No, he did not. He didn't let him
Hold
do
on,
anything.
Wait
Stop
one
that.
second. Wait one
Because I'm
second.
not going to sit
Jrue Holiday was a first. Jrue Holiday was a first team all league defender that year.
Correct.
Now let's tell the truth. Jimmy Butler annihilated that dude in that series, Shield. And what made it personal is Jimmy kept telling him, I own you, I'm your daddy. He ain't do nothing. He ain't get no stops. He ain't do nothing. No hard fouls, no nothing, Chill Town. He took that shit. He's soft.
That doesn't mean he's soft.
Mars.
I'm sorry, man.
Mars.
I come from a different code, bro.
I'm gonna ask Mars this question and then we gonna move on.
Clumsy, Ron. He ain't gonna know. Mars ain't from no project. He ain't gonna know.
Are the Celtics soft in your opinion?
Sure. That's soft. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mars stands with Ticket. He believes the Celtics are soft. All right, I got to get back into these super chats though. I got one from.
I see you answer my question, though, Ron. I see you answer my question. And
Ticket,
you a point guard.
You
a point guard. You sad because you a point guard, Ron.
Ticket, I'm gonna just put it this way. It ain't never happened to me. I'm not saying it.
Right, but I'm saying, hold on, but Ron, let me ask you one question. I just want to ask you one question without Chill Town interrupting. If you were supposed to be a lockdown, or you're supposed to be a lockdown defender, and a dude is getting buckets on you saying I own you and I'm your daddy, and you don't do nothing, what are you, Ron? You don't do nothing. You don't get no stop. You don't do nothing. That's soft. That's what Jimmy did. Jimmy literally was telling this dude, I own you. You can't guard me. I own you. I'm your daddy. Jimmy, hold on. Jimmy literally was telling him that as he was getting buckets on this dude.
Right. John Starks was soft.
No, but chill. I'm saying Jimmy was telling him that, chill.
That's not the point. The point is that he was trying to get me. He couldn't do anything with Jimmy Butler. Nothing. He couldn't do nothing with him. So the idea that you calling him soft, this is a great defender, one of the most physical defenders. Nothing soft about Jrue Holiday. But the fact that Jimmy Butler did what he did against him, the fact that Jimmy Butler did what he did against him and was talking to him, now that makes him soft because one guy got the best of him. One guy now, unilaterally now, he's soft. That's so disingenuous of you, Ticket. So disingenuous of you.
So you gonna feel like a man going home? You'll feel like a man?
It's like this, Chill. If you have impulse control and do your job and be an athlete and have impulse control and control your emotions and control your reactions to words that other grown men say to you, then you're soft. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're a grown man and you doing your job and you playing basketball and another grown man is cooking you and talking shit, you talk some shit back and get your best get back. But at the end of the day, you go ice. Smoke a joint on that. Think, damn, man, he really cooked me today. Have your wife rub your knees and go to sleep. Come back the next day and get back to it. I don't know if you're supposed to be in here pushing each other and
expose Bob, Ron. Expose him.
He's not cooking me.
Ron, expose this liar, Ron. You gotta be a grown man. You know Bob, Ron. Now expose this liar, Ron. Expose this liar. Now Bob just said all this shit. Now Ron,
you go try to get a bucket.
Hey Bob, now Ron, hold on, Ron. What is Bob's reaction if somebody's trying to fuck with him like that on the court? Is he all this cool, calm, collected person, or he turn into a hothead?
This has some impulse control, though. You know what I'm saying? Be a grown man.
Expose this dude, Ron. Expose him, Ron. Expose him, Ron. Expose him. You a liar, boy.
You know how to choke slam each other. You know what I'm saying? You could be a grown
man.
Hey,
Ron, tell the truth, Ron.
All right, ticket. Okay. So first off, I ain't never.
We don't got to entertain that.
I personally never seen him.
But you knowing Bob, what would his reaction be if somebody was doing that to him?
I done seen Bob play against top-notch college players. I done seen Bob play against professionals in the NBA, overseas, all of that. I ain't never really just seen nobody just take Ox lunch money. Or in a basketball game now, in 3-on-3, 1-on-1 settings, I done seen this nigga get smoked. But that's neither here nor there. But if somebody gets to talking shit to Bob, he gonna start popping back.
Right. Is Bob gonna let dudes just talk crazy them and not do nothing?
We can
get out of here, man. I already know you,
Bob.
I did my homework on you, bro.
I did my homework on you. What was
I did my homework on you, Bob. I already know what you do. Listen, the dudes already told me about you. They said you a little hothead when you get frustrated on the court.
If you getting
you ain't gonna sit up here and lie to these people. You had this fake ass coming to God moment. Like now, all of a sudden, you saved and you sanctified, boy. Man, you need to sit down and shut. You a liar, boy. Because I know how you get down. Ron can lie. Ron can lie for you. But if somebody's on the court, and I'm telling y'all this, I know for a fact. If somebody's on the court telling Bob, I own you, busting his ass, doing shit, Bob gonna be ready to fight. And Ron, no, I ain't lying about that either.
I disagree, but all right, you say so.
Okay, buddy. I did my homework, fool.
I do think Tiki got a point. I think he know you better than you might think he knows you.
I think so. That's why he won't play me. What's this next?
You a damn liar.
Hey, Ron, stop this shit. Ron, knock it off. What you starting? Ron, stop. Ron.
Hey, Chilltown, what do I get from beating Lil Mo with the gimpy leg? That he gotta have knee surgery.
He already had it.
All right, so I got these super chats from somebody that don't got a name. He said this Tatum narrative on the last panel was nasty. Do you know Tatum is closer to Luka than Luka is to him defensively? Question mark. Tobias is nasty. Question
That's
mark.
what I'm saying.
One-way player versus two-way player.
Tatum cannot do with the Mavs what Luka's doing with the Mavs.
Thank you. The Mavs will be better with Jayson Tatum and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, that's
already said that. Look,
he already had Kyrie, couldn't do shit. So shut your lying ass up.
He was a baby. Stop it. He was a
baby.
I'm talking about today.
Okay,
be
bro.
real.
Bro.
Can we talk real hoop for 30 minutes today?
We talking real hoop. He had Kyrie.
Give me 30 minutes of good conversation, please, Sticky. What I'm saying is this. That super chat didn't lie. If you guys want to say Luka, y'all got Luka better than Jayson Tatum, I'm fine with that. I don't want to necessarily debate that. What I want to get across is Jayson Tatum's offense is so much closer to Luka Doncic than the humongous gap there is on the defensive end of the basketball court. That's all. That's what I want to get across.
That's a lie.
I want to know does that not make a difference to y'all? Does that not matter
at all? And I know Mars going to agree with me on this.
No, it's not.
How does that not make sense?
I 100% agree with y'all. Mars going to agree with me on this.
That is not a lie.
Jayson Tatum's playmaking ability is nowhere near Luka Doncic's. That we can start right there. We can start right there. So that right there, hold on. So the score, hold on. So Luka, hold on. So Luka's a better scorer. Luka's a better scorer. Luka's a better rebounder. And Luka's playmaking is way better than Jayson Tatum. Now let's start right there.
So if we're doing that,
I agree with the playmaking.
All right. So if we're doing that, then now let's flip the script. Jayson Tatum's ability to beat guys to spots. Jayson Tatum's ability to not just rebound, because you already said rebounding. Jayson Tatum's on-ball defense. Jayson Tatum's off-ball defense. Him shooting gaps. Him playing on the line, up the line. It's not even close between him and Luka. Not close.
Okay, so but Luka's still better. Like I said, I don't see Jayson Tatum.
We ain't saying it.
Hold on. I'm gonna say this again. Chill. I'm gonna say this again. Jayson Tatum doesn't possess what Luka Doncic possesses, and this is what I mean. You can put Tatum right now and switch him with Luka Doncic. The Celtics will be favored to win a championship damn near every year. But if you put Tatum with the Mavs, bro, the Mavs wouldn't have got past the Minnesota Timberwolves.
In the Western Conference Finals? So they would have got to the West Finals. They wouldn't have got to the Finals.
No, I don't know. I don't even think they would have got hold on. They played OKC. Yeah, they'd be OKC.
Okay,
so they would have beat the Clippers too?
And they would have beat the Clippers too. But they wouldn't have beat Minnesota.
The Clippers ain't have Kawhi. So
yeah, well, that's why the Mavs beat.
I'm saying they would not be in this. They're not as good of it. Luka Doncic does so much for that team, bro. He does so much more for that team than Tatum has ever had to display to be able to do. And then he's never been able to show you that he can do that. His playmaking.
I won't never argue that. I won't. In fact, that was one of my biggest criticisms of him, Ticket. The fact that why does he have to do so much in order for them to win? I've always been vocal about that. Why does Luka have 42, 18, 13? 39, 17, 4. Why does he have to do so much in order for them to win? I've always been vocal about that. I won't argue.
But that's his game though, and that's sort of like what LeBron James was as he was younger. He had to do so much for his team to win because he was so dominant on the basketball. So you got to look at it like that. That's why I told you, yeah, Jayson Tatum is a great player. To me, he's a superstar, but he is levels to this. I just think that Luka Doncic's ability to not, and I think this is something else we don't give Luka Doncic credit for. His leadership. I think his leadership is better than Jayson Tatum's over that whole team. I think he has displayed better leadership with that Mavs team than Jayson Tatum has with this Celtics team. And I just think that Jayson Tatum has had too much help around him to not have gotten it done by now. I think if Luka Doncic was on that same team, he would have already won a chip and probably been going on 2 or 3 right now.
Chill. I don't really like that statement though. Like, why does Luka have to do so much and this, that, and the third? I think he does so much because he's capable of doing so much. Like we don't. If Daniel Gafford was to get average 16 rebounds in this series, I don't think we would go back and be like, oh well, Daniel Gafford had to average 16 for them to win. Why did he have to average so many rebounds for them to win?
No, I wouldn't be saying that.
That's what I'm saying though. It was like he was just able to do that. He dominated on the boards because he's that good of a rebounder.
Sure,
Luka is just that dope. I don't
that
think
part,
he has
and
to do that for them to win.
Sure.
He just can do that. He just walks out of bed and can average 39 and 9. And that's just who he is.
Which I could get with that logic, sure. But when you talk about Daniel Gafford getting 16 rebounds, okay, that's his job. Is it Luka's job to do that much?
That's the plan. To play basketball.
Absolutely.
And that's just how good he is.
Absolutely is his job. Absolutely is his job to play basketball. But to do that much in the history of the game, I don't remember a guy having to do that much on the regular in order for us to win. I don't remember that.
So Jordan didn't do that much?
Not that, and it wasn't working until those other guys started doing their jobs. He didn't have to, like 33, 8 and 8, 37, 35, 7. And then those other guys started doing their jobs, and that stuff came down because he shouldn't have to do that much in order for them to win.
Jordan did a hell of a lot. If we were to go through all his final series, Jordan shot. And this is just off the top of my head. Yep. I'm assuming he shot by far the most shots in the finals.
Yep.
We know he averaged the most points because he averages the most points in playoff history.
Yep.
I'm assuming a series where he averaged 35 plus.
Yep.
That's a hell of a lot. And
absolutely, it is.
He
from a bucket standpoint. From a bucket standpoint, sure.
Yeah, that's fair. He probably averaged 5 or 6 assists in there too. So I'm saying that's a huge offensive load.
Ron, would it surprise you that 5 of the 7 years that Scottie Pippen played with Jordan, he averaged more assists, he averaged more rebounds, and he averaged more steals? Not only that, 3 of the 6 championships that they won, Scottie Pippen averaged almost 20 and 10 in the East Finals and the Finals. Mike didn't have to do nearly as much as he had to before this guy materialized into what he materialized in. And the point that I'm making with Luka is not that Luka isn't awesome, because Luka has been fantastic. But I'm just trying to make sense of when you're trying to win, why does this one guy have to do this much in order for us to win?
Chill.
So are we mad at the team or at Luka? Like, what's up?
I'm not mad at him. That's not the problem, Mars.
Okay, mad was a bad word. Are we? Is this criticism of Luka or of Dallas? Like, which one is it? Or both? Like,
I feel like it's more Dallas than it is Luka, because I already know that Luka can do that. The question is why does he have to do this much in order for them to win? He shouldn't have to do this much. You guys need to get on your job.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
All right, y'all. Darren Faust said, Ticket, please stand on this and give credit to Mazzulla afterwards. You sound out of your mind speaking on a 64-win team that also went 23-7 against the West. No super team excuses.
No, they're going to be called a super team.
Oh,
but yeah, of course. I mean, no one's trying to give Boston credit for this ring. There's a reason a lot of people are rooting for Dallas. No one wants Boston to win. So if they win, they're going to do everything they can to diminish the fact that they won. It is what it is. I think Boston are prepared for that. I do think Mazzulla makes adjustments. I think you spoke about it against Miami. I remember against Philly last year. They put Robert Williams in the starting lineup to roam of PJ Tucker in it.
That's an adjustment. That's huge.
The Sixers couldn't score. They scored like below 90, I think, in both of those games. They couldn't score. That's an adjustment from Joe Mazzulla. I think he's shown he can make adjustments. In a game to get in the game, maybe it's a bit questionable. I still think he does that, but game to game, I think he does make adjustments. I think Joe Mazzulla's an underrated coach because I think people were mad that Ime Udoka is no longer the coach there. But I think Joe Mazzulla's a better offensive coach than Ime is. Defensively, I'll give it to Ime, but offensively, I think Joe Mazzulla's a better coach.
Christopher D said, everyone voting majority for the Mavs to beat the Celtics. I've seen polls everywhere picking the Mavs in 80-20 splits over the Celtics. So is it really a choke job if everyone's picking the Celtics to lose?
Everyone's picking the Celtics to lose because they want the Celtics to lose. That's it. Like
Not
the
because
Celtics,
not because they're going to or because the
Yeah.
matchups say that. No, it's because they want them to lose. We had this conversation yesterday,
the
Ron.
Pacers. Like what are we doing? Ticket pick the Pacers.
Yeah, we had this conversation yesterday, Ron. Take the same team.
Ron picked the Pacers.
Well,
Yes, he did. 100% he picked the Pacers.
I mean,
take this same team, Ron. Take the Boston Celtic tag off of it and put the Portland Trailblazer tag on it. How we talking about them?
A lot more favorably.
Way more favorably. Way more. But because it's the Boston Celtics, that's that allure. Sure, I get it. Yeah, 100% I get it.
People are mad, like they were blowing the Heat out, and then they were like, "Oh, they aren't going through any crunch time situations," and then they lost that one game. Oh, this is why they're not good. And then they go, and now so it's like, oh, so they lose the game all of a sudden. Yeah, that's the proof we needed that they're not good. Then they win. Oh, well, they're blowing them out. So like, what's this gonna mean when they play against real competition and they're in a close game and they can't close? Then they play the Pacers. They're in close games and they close every single one. Well, it's the Pacers. So like, we're not moved by the fact that they closed these games and they came back from these deficits. Why are you down in the first place? Like, no matter what, no matter how they win, the people are going to complain. If they win by coming back, you shouldn't have been down. If they win in a close game, why was the game close? If they blow the team out, there was no competition. No matter what Boston do, people are going to criticize. Like, they could beat the Mavericks and someone's going to say, well, Tim Hardaway Jr. wasn't 100%. Someone's going to say, oh, well, the trade deadline, they only had 3 months to go. Like, people are going to find a way to criticize whatever Boston do.
Ron, if we have a team in the playoffs that goes on the road and are down 18 and come back and win on the road, do we criticize them? Yo, y'all should have blew this team out. Do we do that?
If the team was down 18 on the road?
You down 18 on the road. In the second half, by the way. You're not down early. You down in the second half 18 on the road. Theoretically, we don't do that to nobody.
Theoretically, no, but chill. You know how that goes, though. Why were you down 18 in the first place?
Here we go.
You know how that goes, though. But theoretically, no. If you make that comeback and you win the game, you made the comeback and you won the game.
And I'm not saying there's not valid criticisms of Boston. I think they have flaws. I don't think they're the perfect basketball team. I don't think there's any such thing as a perfect basketball team. But the goalpost moving to keep criticizing Boston because they don't win the way people want them to win. Like, I understand teams haven't been healthy. If you want to say that the East was a cakewalk, fine. If you think that Boston wouldn't have made it out of the East if every team was healthy, fine. But at the end of the day, people are trying to find reasons why Boston aren't going to win. And it's because no matter how they win, you're going to say, well, it doesn't count because this guy wasn't there or because they didn't blow this team out when they should have, or because they blew this team out, that means they had no competition. Like, at the end of the day, you just don't like the Boston Celtics. And that's fine. Everyone has their biases. Some people don't like the Boston Celtics. There's some people who love the Boston Celtics so much they'll ignore any flaws they do have. It goes both ways. I just think it's fine to admit your biases. But if you try and act like you're coming from an impartial standpoint and you're saying any of those things, you're not being impartial. That's it. Just admit your biases and I think it's fine. But denying them is where it's like, okay.
I do want to say this. If it's a healthy finals amongst the players' choice community, can we all agree, as long as everybody's healthy, no excuses. If your team gets your ass whooped, your team gets your ass whooped. If your favorite player gets outplayed or doesn't show up, no excuses. Hold everybody accountable. If the Celtics come and smoke these boys, I don't want to hear nothing. They are the NBA champions. They deserved it. Super team logic out the window. They give everybody their props. If the Mavs come and take care of business, that's not gonna be it. Doesn't matter. I don't care if Kyrie carries Luka. Give everybody their props. Can we all agree just not to hate for one series?
Nope.
No. They're gonna get hate.
Logic.
we just had 25 minutes talking about why Jrue Holiday and Jaylen Brown are soft.
Well, I mean,
Jrue Holiday soft.
Bro, why you always on my beefcake, man?
Jrue Holiday soft. What the hell
I
is
just
going
said that's
on?
what we had. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
What's going on? Jrue Holiday is soft.
I don't know why you get mad at me that you're the one who keeps saying
always do that. I know. It's that UK jealousy you got in you, boy. Get that out of you, boy. Yeah,
if you
haterade out,
didn't
man.
keep saying stupid things,
you gotta start
be the example
drinking
like
that
haterade,
bro. Hey, listen, just because you've never been in them situations to understand what that means to a game, you can only look at it from
you
numbers.
don't know what situations I've been
That's
in.
the only thing you can hold on. The only thing you can do is look at numbers and analytics. You can't talk about
You're the one asking me what Derek White's averaging.
You've never been on the court before. And the one time you was on the court, you like you was out of breath when I saw you at PC.
That's great. That's great.
So which by the way, Ron, we talk about like no excuses. Just so you know, these dudes say what they say in front of the camera. It's way different when the camera's off. I'm just gonna
damn right, Chill. That's what I'm saying. Hey, Chill. But Chill, here's my point, Chill. It's not hate, it's just facts. Bro, this stuff comes into it, bro. Some dudes mentally, Chill Town, they cannot handle the pressure of being on that level at the biggest stage. You know this. You know some dudes you've been around Chill Town in big games, they freeze up. They might be there for all the games that's insignificant. But when it's those big games, bro, they freeze up. They're nowhere to be. Just saying that we talk about James Harden all the time. When it comes to the biggest games in his career, he always folds. Some people do that. That stuff means stuff, bro. It means stuff when somebody can mentally or physically take you out of a game because of their physicality or because of things they say. Michael Jordan used to demoralize dudes. Why Chill Town? With his trash talk. He used to demoralize cats before he even got on the court. Just trash talking you before the game, getting up to the game. So yes, all of these things mean something, bro. It ain't just about analytics and stats and you're hating because of this. No, I'm telling the truth. Mentally and psychologically. For them to change that series, Chill Town, last year against the Miami Heat, they needed old boy to step up and get in dude's face. They needed somebody to fire their team up and clap back. And that's what Grant did. That's why he felt like he was more valuable than what they were paying him. You know what I'm saying? For that team. You know what I mean, dog? So
clearly he wasn't valuable to either team because now it's Aston and Charlotte. I feel bad.
Well, we'll see. Hold on. We'll see because now they're about to get tested right now. See what I'm saying? Yeah. They're about to get tested right now.
I thought they had hard-bodied PJ Washington. What they need Grant Williams?
I said they're about to get tested right now. That's what I just said.
Too. I thought they had tough-ass Derrick Jones Jr.
Bro, I just said the Celtics are about to get tested right now. That's what I just said.
Yo, I'm running a poll right now, and it's very simple. It's do you hate the Celtics? Go vote on that poll right now. Let me know whether you really hate the Celtics or not.
Yeah, hold on. I hate the Celtics.
I hate the Celtics.
Like the video too, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed.
Why do you hate the Celtics, Ticket?
Hold on.
Why do you hate the Celtics?
I'm gonna tell you why I hate the Celtics. I'm gonna be very honest. For one, for what they did to Bill Russell. I hate the Celtics for what they did to the great Bill Russell. If you don't know, Google it.
So that ain't the Celtics. That's the city of Boston.
No. The Celtics. No, I'm not finished yet. For two, you asked me why. I'm giving you reasons. For two, let's fast forward. This is another reason why I hate the Celtics. For what they did to Isaiah Thomas. A dude who put everything on the line. A dude who put everything on the line who played when his sister passed away. He could have easily copped out, but he played because he wanted to try to help them win. Played through.
He had no business on the court, Ticket. He had no business in that game.
And instead of them as an organization saying, you know what, we're gonna look out for you in your future and sit you out this game. We're not gonna allow you to play. They allowed him to go out there because they wanted to come back to the glory days and win. And then what did they do? Turn around and traded him because they knew he was hurt. Traded damaged goods over there to the Cavs. Went and got Kyrie, knowing they was trading damaged goods to where the deal had to get done again. So that was a second,
Mr. Play through every injury, so your legacy will be intact. You got a problem with Isaiah Thomas and putting it all on the line?
Hold on, Bob.
Because Isaiah Thomas put it all on the line. You want him to.
That was a dirty. Hold on, Bob. But Bob, hold on, Bob. That was a dirty move. Hold on, Bob. That was a dirty move by Danny Ainge because listen to what Isaiah Thomas said. Hold on, listen to what Isaiah Thomas said.
But you're supposed to put it all on the line. You can
I'm saying but you're not listening. Hold on, you're not
listening
to what I'm saying. Hold on, but you're not listening to what I'm saying. Hold on, listen to what I'm saying though. You didn't hear. You have to go listen to what. You have to go listen to what Isaiah Thomas said about how Danny Ainge handled that situation, and that was foul on Danny Ainge. That was and shout out to Isaiah Thomas because he never quit on himself. Everybody said he should quit. Don't come back to the league. He kept fighting.
Isaiah was supposed to put it all on the line and keep his legacy intact. Like that's what you said.
Bob, and hold on. I respect that about
that's what they did back in the day.
My beef,
you know when we was coming up, Chill, that's what they did back in the day.
My beef ain't with him. My beef ain't with Isaiah Thomas. So shut the hell up. My beef ain't with him. He asked me why I don't like the Celtics. I'm telling you why. Also, another reason why I don't like the Celtics because of how they did Kyrie Irving. That's why I don't like the Celtics because of that. I don't like their teammates because of how they did Kyrie Irving. They didn't want to listen to Kyrie when Kyrie was the only one that won a championship over there, trying to lead them young fellas and get them advice, and they act like they knew everything. So what did? They act like they didn't want to listen to Kyrie, Terry Rozier, and all those guys. Remember that situation, or did you forget? They turned on Kyrie, basically made him irrelevant in that locker room, and he left, and now he's in the finals facing them again. Another reason why I don't like the Boston Celtics organization is because of we already know the undertones that they have going around that organization for years and things that we've seen.
What are those undertones? What are those undertones? Hold. Rewind ticket. What are those undertones?
Oh, just a lot of racism going on. But I'm gonna say this: the biggest thing that I don't like about the organization is how they did Ime Udoka.
Because you can't fuck your boss's wife.
Hold on.
I knew it was coming to that.
Hold on, Bob. That man had a
You can't fuck your boss's wife, Tiki.
Bob, I want to say this. He had a consensual. Hold on, I want to say this right now. He had a consensual relationship with a coworker, right? Okay, cool. You Chilltown, cool. You suspend him, no problem. But you gonna suspend him and fire him? But when Chilltown, when that's been going on, hold on, wait, Chill. You and I both know, Chill. Hold on, Chill, wait. You and I both know that's been going on for years.
Yes, it has.
You and I both know that's been going on for years.
Yes,
but
yes,
all right, Chill. So I'm cool with the suspension, Chill. But you gonna suspend him for the whole year? Then watch this, Chilltown. Then when he tries to go get a job with the Nets, when the Nets about to hire him, you hating on him then and don't want to let him go. And the league says, "Now we're gonna uphold the suspension for the whole year." So y'all make sure he don't get that job with the Nets too. So then he has to sit out the whole year. Then he can't get his job back. Yeah, I don't like the Celtics, bro.
Which is fair, but I mean to Ox's point, just so you know, just so we clear, Ox, this is the money man. So like when we get in meetings, like when we talking about finances and how cutting salary, this is the dude who we got to talk to. And in the process of talking to him, that dude's wife is getting smashed by the coach. We can't coexist. We can't, yo. No.
But don't fire him though. Nah, keep bro around for sure.
We cannot coexist.
The whole world knows you popped my wife.
Now to Ticket's point. But to Ticket's point, Isaiah Thomas ain't had no business on the floor after his sister passed. You saw him on the sideline. He was in shambles. He was in tears. There was no way that dude should have been on the floor. He should have been gone. And the fact that the Celtics went to him like, yo, do you want to play? No, that's an executive decision that needs to be made. Yo, you're not playing. No, go take care of your family. Go do what you need to do instead of that. And on top of that, they knew about his hip and what it was. They knew about it. They did know. And an organization who, if I'm being honest, I mean, that's smart when you trading away damaged goods and you're trying to get something back for it. I think that's smart if I'm getting rid of it. But on the flip side to that, it's business.
And Maria knows best says he should have been fired. Well, guess what? She should have been fired too. But they ain't even want to say her name. So that's why I got a problem. If you're gonna fire him, fire her too. Because she was the only one that was married. Ime Udoka wasn't married. She was married. She decided to do that too. So how does she get immunity and he got to suffer? Nah, I'm sorry. It takes two to tango, baby. Both of them broke the rules. And it would be different if it wasn't consensual. But what they say, Chilltown, it was consensual. So that means if one person violated the rule, that means both of them violated. They should have both been put out. But she didn't get put out. Why? Because she was the wifey. That's why. So we're not fit to do that. So Maria knows best. Maria knows worst. And you got cooked today 3 the hard way. Ticket don't discriminate.
Ticket, wow. I mean, I took it. Yo, Ime Udoka, wow, B. You smashing dude.
Man, listen, chill. That's not your fault. Chill. If you email Udoka, you in your prime pretty much. You the head coach of the Celtics. Y'all on the way to the finals. All them ladies in the organization want to get with Ime. Ime running around there looking like a Greek.
There's a line though, Ticket. There's a line, Ticket. Okay, there's some things that I'm just not doing.
Ime got a line of chicks.
No,
they doing it. Hold on.
There's a line, Ron. Okay,
chill.
That
goes
that
on in every chill.
No,
that happens in every business. Chill.
Absolutely, it does. I won't argue that. However, there's some things that you can't do. There's some things that's just not okay. No.
But can we go back? Can we go back to impulse control? Can we go back to that and being a grown man and realizing you can't catch everything that gets thrown at you. Everything that's thrown at you don't catch. You know what I'm saying? Put your hand and say, "No, I'm good."
You literally have a lady, though. I know you ain't.
When you are the head coach, you the head honcho. You got to know. Oh, I can't do that. Can't do that. My guys need me. If I think with my little head, I'm gonna end up coaching in Houston next year, and these guys are gonna be back in the finals without me. that really what I want to do over a little piece of pie, if you will? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Come
Bob,
on, man.
you be doing that,
Like,
Bob. You be having all the women on your
meat
show.
on the
Now you
bone.
sit up here talking about.
And this grown man didn't have the impulse control to turn down some. Come on, bro. Like, we're not defending this, man. Come on. We're not defending this. This is a disgrace. It's an embarrassment.
I'm defending it, bro.
That's embarrassing.
Hey, Bob, I'm defending it. You know why? Because you the same dude on your show, on your channel, be having all them honeys on your show.
I ain't touched not one of them because I'm a professional.
I don't believe you.
You believe a word of it, Ticket.
Now what you gonna do? She trying to holler at you, Bob.
Ticket. Do you believe a word of it, Ticket?
That ain't right. That ain't the right. That's not the right thing to do, bro.
Ticket, do you believe a word of it, Ticket? Yes or no?
Doing the right thing, bro.
I believe. No, chill, town. Chill. I believe Bob is a damn liar. That's what I believe. I believe Bob is a liar and a capper. Bob got to show y'all. We got all them ladies, all them beautiful chicks on his show. All of them look good. You mean to tell me if one of them chicks say, "Hey, Bob, come on, let's go out and have a meal," he gonna say, "Nah, I'm too politically correct."
Are we talking about a business? Are we talking about a business dinner, a business lunch? I like to eat. I'm a hungry nigga. But
I already know. But then you gonna be popping champagne. But then I know you gonna be popping champagne.
You supposed to be professionals, chill. Come on.
Wine glasses. I know how you get down, dog.
Okay, but let's stay focused though. Emma was wrong. Let's stay focused. Emma was wrong.
Softening your voice. This dude got a deep voice when he talk to us. He got a deep voice when he talk to us, Ron. When he talk to the ladies, go look at when Bob talks to them chicks on his channel. He be like,
hey, dumb plug. Y'all go subscribe to Big Ox Media if you haven't. Go subscribe to Chilltown Hoops. Go subscribe to Ticket's channel as well, Ticket TV Media. Go subscribe to Mars Talk Sports. Go subscribe to everything up here, and definitely subscribe to Player's Choice if you haven't. Let me shout out our members. Speaking of subscribers, my man Choice Roberts became a member. Daryl Pointer also became a member. And Joe as well, he became a member today too. And with our members, we always get members chat. So let me go ahead and run these down as well. Gabe Too Funny 02 said Mavs in 6. Big Smoke said, what are your thoughts on the 07 Pistons versus the 17 Warriors? And he meant 04.
He clarified by saying
04 Pistons.
Yeah, Sheed said they'd win. Shout out to Sheed.
You know where I stand. I stand where Sheed stand.
I think Sheed is the biggest mismatch, to be honest with you. Draymond Green having to deal with Rasheed Wallace is going to be hell for him. And on top of them being able to guard like they do, don't get me wrong. I mean, offensively, they weren't great, but defensively, they were fantastic. And the X factor in that series, just off that starting five, Draymond having to deal with Rasheed Wallace is going to be hell for him.
Hold on, Phil, but who's chasing Rip off all them screens?
Klay Thompson.
Yeah, sure, that's still fine.
I don't see him chasing him off all them screens. Rip Hamilton was coming off as many screens as Steph Curry almost, bro.
Right. And we could use the same logic where Steph Curry was in a lot of action too. Chauncey Billups got to chase him around. Chauncey Billups got to chase him off a lot of screens.
Nah, but they had hold on. Let me pause you right there. Hold on, let me put you on pause. But they had personnel for that. They had little go-go gadgets like Lindsey Hunter and those dudes. Lindsey Hunter was like glue. Lindsey Hunter was sticking the guards like glue. So Lindsey Hunter, they would have put him on Steph Curry. I ain't saying he would stop Steph, but Lindsey Hunter would have been on Steph like white on rice, baby. You better believe that.
And he would have tried to make it difficult on Steph, even though, especially at that time in 17, KD is, we can't forget about the 30 a game that they added to that squad. We can't forget that. So I like to think that that's a pretty big deal.
I got Tayshaun putting the clamps on. I seen KD get locked up by Tatum and them in the playoffs, man. I got Tayshaun handling that.
That version of KD, the 17
version
of KD.
I don't care what version, bro. That version of Tayshaun Prince gave Kobe Bryant the blues. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He did.
I agree. I agree 100%. You got Tayshaun Prince and Rasheed Wallace out there. Ain't nothing gonna be easy for KD.
Then you got Ben
on top of that, you got like Ben Wallace can guard Draymond Green, so he can, controlling the paint. I don't really think that's a good matchup for the Warriors. Who's a better team? Sure, I guess the Warriors can be a better team, whatever. If that's
more talented.
More talented.
We get with that.
Yeah, that's fine. But like in a 7-game series, I think it's gonna be. I think it will be a fire series. Honestly,
I'm not going.
I would love to watch that.
They would have beat that late. If they'd have played that Laker team 10 times, they would have beat them 9.
Bro, y'all don't. Hey, chill town. These dudes don't remember. Guys like Lindsey Hunter and Ty Lue, they stuck around the league for a reason, bro. Y'all laugh at Ty Lue, bro. His assignment was AI, bro. These dudes was like glue sticking to those guys. Remember how they was trying to guard those guys? I mean, AI and them was shaking them. They would get you points. But these dudes was really trying to play D out there, bro. This was an era where guys was really trying to play D. And a guy like Lindsey Hunter, that dude was scrappy, bro. Lindsey Hunter was fighting you off every screen, picking you up full court every single possession. Lindsey Hunter was like glue, fighting over all. Like I said, Lindsey Hunter was a real tough, hardcore defender.
And on top of that rotation, so you got Lindsey Hunter coming off the bench. You got Corliss Williamson coming off the bench. Isn't Mehmet Okur on that crew too? I think Mehmet Okur is on that crew. Yeah.
Hey, shout out Mehmet, man.
Yeah, he's on that crew. I feel like I'm missing. Darvin Ham was on that crew too. I don't know what Darvin Ham is going to give you, but I know Darvin Ham was on that crew. But they're starting five plus those rotation guys. I mean, I feel like they're going to make it really hard on the Golden State Warriors, real hard.
Clamp down, clamp season.
Mars, can we get your expert analysis on this series?
The more and more basketball I watch, the more I hate asking about how teams from different eras would play against each other. You look at the 04 Pistons and how they defended and how they played on offense. That's prior to the league's rules changes on physicality. Then in 05 onwards is prior to that. Offensively, they shot no threes, which is what you need to do in today's game.
So you're asking which era that we're playing in now, Mars?
I think if you're gonna have the conversation, you have to say what rules and what era you're playing in, because otherwise we're just having like I don't think a team from the 80s is going to be able to match up with a team from the 2020s when one team is shooting 43s and one team is shooting 7.
I disagree.
I just think like that's
just saw,
and it's the game's not all about mathematics and analytics. But if one team's shooting 43s and one team's shooting 7, you're just going to get more points.
Mars, let me ask you one question, brother. What have been the scores in this playoffs this year? They haven't been 120, 120. What were the scores in that Denver series against?
Yeah, it was. No, I'm not saying the game. I'm not saying the games are 120. I'm saying the amount of threes Detroit took, which is like, I want to say 10 a game. I don't know for sure. I want to say like 10 a game. Compared to today's game where everyone's getting up 35, it's going to be hard to keep up scoring when you're taking a bunch of mid-range jumpers. That's no knock to what they did, because I understand the era and the time differences, which is why I like to compare teams relative to time. But what I'm saying is, if you ask a team from when teams are taking 10 threes a game to play a team shooting 35 threes, they're inherently going to struggle to keep up unless you are applying the belief that now Chauncey Billups is taking 8-9 threes a game because of how good of a shooter he is. Or now Rip Hamilton isn't running on dribble handoffs to the baseline, it's now to the corner. Not dribble handoffs, running on screens to the baseline, it's now to the corner 3. If you think that's what's happening and now we're just changing how these guys played, then I guess. But if we're just taking it from what it was, a team.
Well, it is hoop though, Mars. And you were saying earlier about adjustments, right? So let's say if they were in a 7-game series, do you think that the Detroit Pistons had the skill set? Chauncey Billups at the point, Rasheed being able to stretch the floor a little bit, Tayshaun knocking corner threes. Do you think they had the skill set to maybe not shoot 30, but maybe up their 3-point shooting a little bit, maybe shoot 17, 18, the 20 range, shoot more? Do you think that they could adjust and keep up with that pace? Do you think like skill set for skill set that they could play with?
The amount of like this is not just a Detroit thing, but the league wide. The amount of threes that were really twos because they would put their toe on the line or they'll be one step in. You make those threes. I think that's just like if you play in the modern game, teams will make those threes. Chauncey, instead of shooting 5 threes a game, he probably shoots about 7 or 8. Like I think that's realistic. I think Tayshaun would probably teams would leave him open out in 04, respectfully. But he'd probably get up maybe 3 or 4. Rasheed would probably step out more. Rip was a solid 3-point shooter. He take more than what he did, but he lived in the mid-range, and I think that's still gonna be there for him. The mid-range is still gonna be there. It's more so a concern about like the guys coming off the bench. Like Lindsey Hunter was nothing to speak of offensively, and he was a pest defensively. He was. And like we got to a point where Eldon Campbell's coming in and giving minutes, and that's like the last year of his career. Like those type of guys, like how viable are you to be playing? Lindsey Hunter can give great minutes defensively, but offensively, how can you have Lindsey Hunter and Tayshaun Prince and Ben Wallace on the floor? And if you play against the 2017 Warriors, how can you do that? That's where the problems come in, which is like I'm looking at it like Draymond Green wouldn't. I don't think Draymond Green would be on Rasheed because I think they probably just go to death lineup with Iggy in the lineup, and you take out Zaza, you just go Draymond at the 5. He's not going to match up with Ben Wallace on the rebounds. They're going to give up rebounds 1,000%. But you got Ben Wallace and Draymond, then you got Iggy, KD, Clay, and Steph. That's the lineup they're probably going to run out there. And offensively, the Pistons are just, they don't have anything to play with teams in the modern era offensively. And that's where I get the issue of like, why are we asking a team from 2004 that was bad offensively in 2004 to play against maybe the best offensive team of all time? That like the scoring discrepancy is just going to be
right,
insane,
Mars. And that's a fair assessment. But defensively, I think you're under the impression that the Warriors, even though we're talking about different rules, and I'm not able to put hands on Steph Curry, I might not be able to put hands on Klay Thompson, but defensively, we still are good enough, right? We're still good enough to hold them to a certain number. Maybe I feel like we are still good enough to hold them to a certain number where, just as a basketball player, Steph Curry is not just going to kick my ass. No, just as a basketball player alone, Steph Curry is not kicking my ass. That's that. Now, I can appreciate the logic of the rule changes and the game being less physical. But from a defensive standpoint, from principles, just being able to slow guys down, right? Just being able to slow guys down. The Pistons do have guys collectively who could score. Now, they couldn't score at the level that the Golden State Warriors could score, sure. They couldn't shoot the long ball at the level that they could score, but they could defend. So I feel like what Ox was talking about earlier with that gap between Luka and Jayson Tatum in terms of defense, I feel like that's the same logic defensively. I don't think the Golden State Warriors, as good as they were defensively in 2017, are close to what the Detroit Pistons were. So with that being said, I feel like they could slow these guys down and they could take advantage of mismatches. Your logic is the idea that both Klay Thompson, not just Klay Thompson, but all of those guys, they shoot the long ball, and because they shoot the long ball, the Pistons wouldn't be able to defend at the long ball line when they had plenty of guys who were switchable, not just switchable, but really good one-on-one defenders. So I think that they could defend the long ball. Now, when you get down to not just taking that out of the game, but maybe slowing that down, when you take that out of the game, and now it becomes, okay, when you go to that death lineup, like you said, that leaves KD on Rasheed Wallace. That leaves Andre Iguodala. That leaves Andre Iguodala having to slow down Chauncey Billups in the half court, or having to slow down Rip Hamilton, stuff like that. Then it becomes a problem for them as well.
Yeah, I think the Pistons were a great defensive team. Statistics, they are the best defense post 2000s in the playoffs. Like statistically, like it's not even close. For anyone wondering, they held opponents 12 points below their offensive rating relative to like the other teams
in that NBA Finals.
The next best team is the 03 Spurs. Like
I believe in that NBA Finals. I think 3 of the 5 games they held the Lakers under 90.
Yeah, they were ridiculous. They were stifling. So they were at minus 11.8. So they're holding teams 11.8 points per 100 possessions, better than the team's average offensive rating. The next best team post 2000 is negative 8.7. So it's a large gap. And then you look at it offensively, they were scoring about a point per 100 possessions worse in the playoffs than the opponent's defense. So they were a bad offensive team. Just statistically, they were a negative. That's the stats. Now, I think defensively they were great, but they've also never had to defend a team like the Warriors. A lot of what made the Pistons great was that everything was confined to about 20 feet in it. So if you have a team where, especially if they go to the Iguodala lineup, where everything's outside the 3-point line, you're setting screens. Now Ben Wallace can't hover around the rim. He can step up. Ben Wallace can guard on the perimeter. I'm not saying he can't, but now you take Ben Wallace away from the rim, and Rasheed Wallace is also away from the rim because he's occupied with whatever weak side action the Warriors got going on. That's how the Warriors get layups. It's not because the Pistons don't have rim protection. It's because the rim protection is being taken 25 feet away from the basket. And if Ben Wallace is 25 feet away from the basket and Rasheed Wallace is 22 feet away from the basket, and you're setting a bunch of screens on every single play, how do the Pistons keep up with that type of offense without giving up something? Not that they're not a great defense and they're not going to make them work. The offense of Golden State is just so strenuous, and the Pistons play so slowly.
Right.
How can they keep up and continue scoring against that Warriors defense, which in its own right was very good? They were about like a -6 defense.
Right.
So like the Pistons all-time great, the Warriors elite for the year. The year in which they were in, I think they had the best defense in the playoffs. So the Warriors were still a great defense, and they're one of the best postseason offenses we've ever seen. It just, I just don't think it makes sense that the best 3-point shooting team maybe ever, shooting 4 times as many threes, having the best shooter ever, having as much action as they do without the basketball, and they've extended the space in about 7 feet more than the Pistons are used to. I don't get how all of that comes to a Pistons win. And
I'm gonna say this to Mars. I'm gonna say this to, let me say this to Mars. I want you to think about something. Them same KD Warriors, they struggled with Pat Beverly, bro. I'm gonna repeat myself.
That's 2019 or 2017.
Oh, let me say this right, bro. I'm saying that they were KD Warriors, or KD Warriors. The same KD and Steph and the Warriors and them, they struggled. They struggled with that team. These are all facts, right? So now I'm gonna cook you low key. So, but the key I'm gonna cook you is on high key. So again, don't give me that, because they're gonna be shooting all these threes. The game ain't gonna be played like that. The game, and here's what the Detroit Pistons did a lot of times. They controlled tempo and pace with how they played. You understand what I'm saying? So it was hard for you to jack up threes against great defense. It's hard for you to get off good looks against great defense. They had not only great team defense, they had great individual defenders all the way across the board. Chauncey Billups, great individual defender. Rip Hamilton, great individual defender. Lindsey Hunter, great individual defender. Tayshaun Prince, great individual defender. Rasheed Wallace, great individual defender. Ben Wallace, great individual defender. So all across the board, they had great individual defenders, and they were a great defender defensive-wise as a team. So, I'm not buying the logic that they're just going to be jacking up all these threes. And then the Golden State Warriors, they weren't a team that was just jacking up a lot of threes. They were a mid-range team as well. That was the biggest lie and misconception about the Golden State Warriors. They were a team that jacked up a bunch of threes. That's not true. They were a very great mid-range team with KD, with Klay Thompson in the mid-range, shooting a lot of those jump shots. So you're getting cooked on that end too. So now let's take a look to right now. So with all the threes that have been up and taken in the NBA in the recent years, notice one thing that's going on in the playoffs this year. A lot better defense is being played. These scores are lower. We saw multiple games where the Denver Nuggets, a team who averages in the 110s, 115s, couldn't even score 80, 90 points.
117 a game.
So and that wasn't against a defense like the Detroit Pistons defense. That was only a taste what they got from the Minnesota Timberwolves or what the Detroit Pistons would have looked like. So when you talk about teams like that, bro, that just jack up a bunch of threes and stuff like that, man, listen, man, when you play great defense, yeah, it's easy to exploit teams that don't have other great defenders. But when you have great defenders all the way across the board like the Detroit Pistons, now you can't really exploit matchups like that, like you want to, because you have an all-around great defensive team with great defensive philosophy and elite level coaching like Larry Brown brought to the table. So I understand where Mars is coming from, but I disagree when we talk about those Pistons, bro. Them dudes was real defensive. They made great teams change whatever they was doing.
Now, Mars, to your point, when you talk about the volume of the long ball, I mean, they did see a long ball shooter in Reggie Miller. I mean, he was the modern day long ball shooter, and I feel like they did a pretty good job in slowing him down. Now, sure, the
50-year-old Reggie Miller.
I mean, he was older. Sure, he was older. Yeah, he was older.
And chill too. Reggie Miller's one man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But it wasn't just him shooting the long ball. I mean, Jamal Tinsley shot the long ball also. And don't get me wrong, he ain't shooting the long ball like he's not shooting the long ball like Klay Thompson, but he is shooting the long ball, right? So with that being said, they did see somebody that was moving without the basketball. They did see somebody that was constantly on the move. That's where Rip Hamilton got his game from. And the Indiana team did stretch the Detroit Pistons defense. It wasn't like their defense was just confined to the mid-range. Their defense was just confined to the block. I mean, Jermaine O'Neal did step out. Jermaine O'Neal did step out and knock down open shots. But with that being said, right? With that all being said, defensively, I think that they could slow down the Golden State Warriors. And now it just comes down to, can these guys actually make plays when it counts the most?
Yeah, I mean, teams had shooters for sure. And I wasn't, if it came across that I was implying that the Warriors jacked up a bunch of threes, but that wasn't the intention. I don't even think they led.
My bad, Mark.
I don't think they led the league in threes. I think they were like 5th, I think. Like the Rockets was the team that was leading the league.
Okay, yeah, my bad. That's what I thought you were saying. My bad, Mars. My bad.
Yeah, but like the thing is just the threat of the three, like KD, Clay, and Steph alone. Just the fact that if Steph comes off a screen, he's pulling it, is why Ben Wallace is gonna have to step out off that screen, and that's how you get those slips to the rim. And if everyone's being preoccupied with Clay coming off a screen and then Steph's coming off a screen, and because the bigs have to play up on that, and that's how you get dives to the rim, and that's why the Warriors consistently led the league in not only points in the paint, like they were near the top of the league every year, assisted points in the paint, because they're finding guys on cuts not every play, obviously, hyperbole, but like they're finding guys on cuts consistently. They led the league in assisted points in the paint for like 5 straight years. Like that's just what they do. I think they led it in like 2022 as well. Like that's just what they do. So I think that's where the Pistons are going to struggle. It's not because they can't guard. It's because if you have to extend that far, you take away the best asset of your defenses, which is that no one's getting to the rim on you. The reason no one can get to the rim is because the game was played so far inside the arc that you don't have to extend. And if you don't have to extend, you're funneling them towards where Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace are. But if they're out of the way, which is why you see so many times the Warriors are playing, there's no big in sight. And it's not because teams are playing bad defense. It's because that's what they have to do to stop Steph and Clay coming off the screen.
Mars, let me counter you on something, because I got to go in a second. I'm going to counter you on something. Wouldn't you feel that would benefit the Pistons too, if they were shooting more threes, like Chauncey, big shot Chauncey Billups, like Rasheed Wallace, which that plays right into his game. This is how they play this era. Wouldn't that make Rasheed even more lethal? Because I feel like if Rasheed played in the era where they shoot threes, instead of him averaging like 14 for his career, he'd be averaging damn near 20, 22, 23 points a game. If he was playing in this era where they basically magnified what he did back then, which was ahead of his time. And then the same thing with Chauncey Billups, who was a big shot 3-point maker and taker. A guy like that, wouldn't that magnify if they weren't shooting 3 or 4 threes a game, but he's able to shoot 9 or 10 now?
But let me ask you a question. I want you to stay on this, but why are we under the impression that we have to play that way?
No, I ain't saying that. I'm saying
not you. This is what I'm saying.
No, I ain't saying that. No, I ain't saying that. No, I ain't saying that. I'm just saying.
He's just asking me because of what I'm saying.
That's what
Wouldn't that have helped? Chill. Wouldn't that have helped Detroit's offense if they were able to play that type of game though, where they were getting up more threes like that, especially having a guy like Chauncey and a guy like Rasheed?
I'm not sure if it would have helped their offense because I don't know if that's.
No, I'm saying, yeah.
I don't know if that's what their strength.
We know what Chauncey was doing back then, shooting.
Right, he can knock down the long ball, 100%.
And we know, and he was big shot Chauncey Billups. They call him big shot Billups, and that's what he did was pull up those threes and hit them. Right. Let's talk about Rasheed. Where lethally have Rasheed would have been being able to exploit the Golden State Warriors and Draymond and them in a pick and pop. What is Draymond Green doing with Rasheed Wallace in a pick and pop on the perimeter? Rasheed Wallace is 6'11", bro. With length, shooting over Draymond.
See, Ticket though, and I hear what you're saying. My thing is,
don't do it, Ron. Don't do it, bro.
The only way I'm taking the Pistons is if they don't fall into that 3-point trap. I need Rasheed Wallace to get KD and Draymond in foul trouble. Get KD off the floor. I need Chauncey Billups to post up and actively hunt Steph Curry. Because don't forget, Chauncey Billups used to post up. I need Chauncey to get Steph in the post and get him in foul trouble. I need Ben Wallace on the glass crashing crazy so he can get over the back fouls on Draymond and on KD, on Andre Iguodala. So you get these dudes in foul trouble, put them in pressure, and get them out the game. I think that's the way that the Pistons win. If
I'm saying, but the Mars, Ron, stop right there. I'm saying to you, Ron, this is what I'm saying to you. I feel what you're saying, Ron. I'm not going against what you're saying. I want to counter what Mars said about the threes. Let's say we talking about the Rockets. And I'm saying what he's saying about the threes. I'm saying, wouldn't that benefit the Pistons offense even more if Rasheed and them and Chauncey, guys who could knock down a three at elite rates, wouldn't that even help them even more offensively as a team?
I just don't feel like, to be honest with you, Ticket, I don't feel like the Pistons want to get caught up in that type of game with the Warriors. I don't think that they want to get caught up in that
I'm thinking
game.
The more
that's why the Pistons were as good as they were, because they didn't allow you. I know what you're talking about. I think the Pistons, they won't allow you to.
If you're a great 3-point shooter, why the hell is it a problem if you're shooting more threes if you're a great
and that's not the point, though, Ticket. The point is that I'm not going to get caught up in playing how you play. I can play like that, but I'm not going to get caught up in playing how you play. And that's
I'm not saying. I'm saying Mars is making it seem like that they didn't have no answer to play like that. I'm saying they did with Chauncey and with Rashid.
And that was the question that I was asking Mars. And that when I posed the question, why do we have to play that way? Why do we have to play that? Because if we end up playing the way that they play, they'll smoke us. It's very much like what we do very much like what we do in this era. When we see teams, we know for a fact you can't get into an up and down with the Golden State Warriors. You can't get into a fast pace with the Denver Nuggets because they'll smoke you. So there's no way we can play like that. So the Detroit Pistons, looking at how the Golden State Warriors play, we can't allow them to suck us into how they play because that's not our game. If we allow them to do that, we have no chance against them. That's why I was asking, why do we have to play like that?
Mars, can you answer the question now?
Yeah, it's kind of what Chill asked. But yeah, I think Chauncey is similar to Steve Nash in the way that the era they played in didn't honor their best ability. Well, not their best ability in Steve Nash's case, but the fact that they could shoot the ball, especially off the dribble. Chauncey Billups was an elite pull-up three-point shooter. He just didn't shoot a lot of them because of the time. I think Chauncey in today's game would shoot about 8-9 threes a game. And he'd shoot at an elite clip because Chauncey could shoot. I think that would be great. Rasheed Wallace, I think, isn't as great of a three-point shooter as maybe you guys think. He was good for a big, like for his time, but he's not. I don't think the Warriors are running Rasheed off the line. Like,
yes, they are, Mars.
I promise them. They're not running Rasheed off the line. Wow. They'll give him a closeout, but you run Chauncey off the line. You don't run Rasheed off the line. You run Steph Curry off the line. You don't. You'll contest high and you'll hope Rasheed misses. You don't run him off the line. Like there's levels. You run Chauncey off the line. You contest high with Rasheed and you let Tayshaun shoot. That's the levels of how you guard these guys. Rasheed isn't a run off the line type shooter, but he can make threes, and I'm not saying he can't, but he's not a run him off the line type shooter. And if you think they
bro, Rasheed gonna blow your cap off then.
Yeah, like, I'm not saying he can't. I'm not saying he can't make shots. I'm not saying he can't make shots. Right. But I'm of the belief that the Warriors' principle is gonna be.
So you're living with that, Mars? That's what it sounds like. It sounds like
we're not living with Rasheed shooting open threes. Like I said, we're contesting them.
Right.
We just aren't.
We're living with him making them. How about that, Mars?
Yeah, we aren't extending our defense to run him off the line, and then we got now he's inside the 3-point line, so now we got to rotate off someone else to meet him. We're not doing all that. We just gonna close out. We're gonna contest high. We're gonna give him the high five. That contest high five, and we're gonna see if he can make them. I'm not saying he's gonna shoot 22%. He might make 38% of 4 threes a game, but I promise they're not gonna put their defense in rotation for Rasheed Wallace threes. They're just not going to do that. And if you guys think that, sure. But Andre Roberson treatment is what Tayshaun Prince is going to get, especially since that's what rookie or second year Tayshaun Prince. Second year. That Roberson treatment is what they're giving him. They're leaving him. So like I think Chauncey would benefit from that. I think there's a lot of point guards from that era who would benefit from being able to be allowed the green light to shoot threes. But I don't think that. And like once. The game of basketball is pretty simple. You got to score more points than the other team to win. Detroit's game plan is going to be they're going to hold the Warriors to as few points as possible. Maybe they can hold them to 87 points. But if the Pistons score 82, they still lose the game. So, like, the problem is the Pistons have to still outscore whatever the Warriors put up. They can limit the Warriors' offense as much as they want. They can limit it to 92 points. If they score 91, they're not going to win. And the issue is the Pistons' offense just wasn't very good. And the way the Warriors shoot, and the fact that they get up so many more threes because of the era, which is why I think these era team discussions is weird. It's like expecting the 87 Lakers to keep up with the 2018 Rockets. Doesn't mean the 87 Lakers are better, but the Rockets shoot 45 threes a game. It's going to be hard to keep up with that. So I think just from that standpoint, I think a team from the 2000s shooting 10 threes a game probably isn't going to be able to keep up offensively with maybe the best offensive team we've ever seen. And that's no knock to the 04 Pistons. They're one of the best teams I've ever gone back and watched with my own eyes. I've never seen a defense like that. So I'm not trying to knock them in any way. I just think it's different because of the era.
All right, y'all. Ticket, before you leave, I got a couple more super chats that were strictly addressed to you. Joe sent through a super chat. He said, Ticket must not know where JT's from. He far from soft.
He is not from the nice part of town in St. Louis. No, he is not.
I mean, being from a tough area doesn't mean you're not soft. I mean, I know many people who are from tough areas and they don't go outside. So,
well, he ain't one of those dudes who didn't.
Yeah, they don't experience the toughness. Like,
yeah. Hey, Mars, what set you repping the UK?
I'm one of those people who don't go outside, so I rep my bed. I rep my bedroom.
Mars rep the house. I feel you.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Repping the house, man.
Ain't that story? Ain't that how Coach K had turned Jayson Tatum up, calling him a soft ass light skinned kid or something? He said to him.
I should have left you. I should have left you in St. Louis.
He called him a soft ass yellow nigga.
Yeah, I should have left you in St. Louis, and then I think he goes for like 34 in the second half, some nonsense like that. So, and that yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. That one that you just had up. That's just not true.
Has been a member for 16 months. Also, shout out to the pitcher. If you play Street Hoops, you know that was a fire ass game. Wasn't better than Street Volume 1, 2, or 3, but Street Hoops was dope though. He said Kobe got punched in the face and did nothing.
That's not true.
No one would call Kobe soft.
That's not true. That's not true. He did go after Chris Childs, and they got in the middle of it. He definitely got in the middle of. They got in the middle of it. He got ejected from the game because he was trying to get to Chris Childs.
But this is my thing, Chill. He did get pieced up and
he got hit in the face.
And by ticket standards, that's soft.
Yeah.
That ain't me, just so y'all know. That is not me.
Jeffrey Duvinston said Ticket averaged 2 points in the DR League. He didn't stand on business.
What?
Jeffrey must not know something. I don't know.
Yeah.
James Johnson averages like 0.1 points. He knows soft.
Thickest Pilot 9 said, Thicket, I get you don't like the C's, but let's not lie and call them soft. These dudes ain't going to fist fight in the finals. That's dumb as hell. Couple more members chats too. I shouted out Choice Roberts, but I'm gonna shout out Choice Roberts again. Appreciate you for becoming a member. Cheese sent through a member super chat. He's been a member for 10 months. He said, I was rewatching the 94 and 95 finals. Man, ain't no center better than him.
Olajuwon was fantastic. Oh my God. He was great.
He was a very good player.
Yes.
I think he was worse in 95 than he was in like years before, and he was still great. So.
Well, yeah, I think he finished second that year in league MVP votes, and he basically did the same thing that David Robinson did. He just played less games. I think David Robinson played like 78 games that year. I think Olajuwon played 71 or something like that. He missed a bunch of games. Had he played more, he would have been in contention. But the trade for Drex made them worse. So the trade for Drex made them worse. And that also screwed up his MVP case.
It's interesting because like there's two players who have like a large divide between like fan opinion and like the consensus top 10 lists. Hakeem and Kobe. Like fan opinion, like the fans overwhelmingly have like Kobe in the top 3 and like Hakeem in like the top 5 to 6 range. And then you look at the media and their top 10 list, they'll have like Hakeem's like number 12 and Kobe's like 9. That's like, where is the divide? Is it? I don't know if it's the accolades because like Kobe's got 1 MVP and Hakeem's only got 2 rings and like Kareem's got 6 and Shaq's got 4 and all of those things. I don't know if that's where the divide is or if it's like the skill because like Hakeem and Kobe are like considered the most skilled players ever. I don't know if it's that, but like the divide, like the amount of people who say Hakeem in their opinion is the best center ever, or he's better than Shaq, or he's better than Kareem. But then like the overwhelming media opinion is Kareem's top 3, Hakeem's 12, or like Kobe's better than LeBron. But then the overwhelming media opinion is MJ and LeBron is the GOATs, and Kobe's battling with Larry Bird or something. So like,
yeah, I think it's
interesting.
I think it's hatred that the media have for Kobe. I think that it's hatred that they have for Kobe Bryant in Kobe's case, and I think that made them, you know.
Where do you think it came from? That hatred that you talk about, Ticket. Where do you think that hatred came from?
It came from Colorado. Kobe was getting ready to be. Kobe was getting ready. Remember, they had the McDonald's commercials. They were getting ready. Kobe was going to be the one. Before LeBron came around, they were going to do what they were doing with LeBron with Kobe. Then comes Colorado, and all that gets shut down. The voters refuse to vote for him again. And it's always just been that stigma held against Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? And so he had to go win without Shaq to like fulfill his legacy of his career. Because if he would have never won without Shaq, he would have never been put on that level that he's been put on. Even now, the level that they struggle to try to put him on, even though he's supposed to be on that level. And like I said, man, if you look at Kobe skill wise, you look at Kobe all the way around across the board, man. I have him top 3 all time. I don't think that I've seen, other players outside of 3 that are better than Kobe Bean Bryant. I just haven't. You know what I'm saying? The only two players I think I've ever seen that's better is Mike and probably Kareem. Those are the only two players I've ever seen that I thought that was better than Kobe Bryant. And then with Hakeem, I agree with Marshall on Hakeem. That's kind of crazy because a lot of people have Hakeem like more skilled over Shaq, over all these guys. He destroyed Shaq in the finals and all these guys. But then when they look at the Shaq's rings, and then when they talk about a lot of people putting Wilt over him, like I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? So again, you know, I just don't see that, man. You know, I just think that especially with Wilt not winning as much as I thought he should have won, as for him being as dominant as he was, Wilt being a coach killer, too, you know, or a dude that, you know, couldn't keep a coach, and basically a dude that, for as dominant as he was, didn't win as much as I thought he should have won. You know what I'm saying? So
he won in dramatic fashion, though. We can't argue that. The way
he
did win, he won in dramatic fashion, though. We can't argue that.
But he didn't win, and he didn't win enough, though.
Even if he didn't win enough, he still won in dramatic fashion.
No, I'm saying, but he didn't win enough. But he under. But if you look at,
I feel like the way he won trumps that.
He underachieved, though. That doesn't trump that. That doesn't trump all the time.
Only team in the 60s.
But you hold that same. You hold. But see, that's hold on.
Only team.
That's the problem with you, though.
No, it's not.
That's the problem with you. Hold on. That is the fundamental. Hold on, chill. That is the fundamental problem with your ass. Is that you do this? Hold on. You do this type of shit, bro. That's the problem with you. So you hold that same narrative for LeBron James. You think his victories overcome all that bullshit losing that he does. That's the type of logic that you live by. What? So yes. Now I see it. Because if you're gonna sit up here and say that about Wilt, now I see that that's just how you think.
In addition, whoa. In addition to the other things he did, see,
but he lost.
You double talk me all the time.
He lost. I'm not. He lost.
The first thing that you talk about is 6 finals losses. That's the first thing that you talk about.
Did Wilt? How many finals? Hold on. Did Wilt lose? Did Wilt? Do you think Wilt should have won more?
I'm not. No.
What? Ron,
no.
Get some baby powder and slap this.
So wait. So you don't think the Lakers should have won the 1960s?
You don't think Wilt should have? I think he's capped. He's capping with his capping ass, Ron.
Wait. For the way that Wilt played, they should have won.
No, do you think the Lakers should have won the 1969 finals when
Big man said he don't
when the Celtics by everyone's account was on their last legs? It was Sam Jones' retirement tour. Bill Russell was coaching the team and he was on his last legs. He was about to retire. Right. That Boston team was deemed as done. That was like they were finished. Right. And then they go in the game 7, they win the game.
Right.
Wilt Chamberlain goes down with a knee injury that people consider dubious, to say the least. They consider it dubious. He doesn't play the most stellar game for Wilt Chamberlain standards, and they lose.
Keep going.
And they lose that game, I think, by like 2 points or something. Right. So, like, do you think going into that series, like, obviously none of us watched the series in its entirety, and we're going back and we're rewatching what we can find. But do you think that's a series the Lakers should have lost, knowing the talent they had on that team, knowing what was going on in Boston at the time, knowing how old everyone was? And seeing all of that, and then they end up losing in game 7 in the way they did.
Now, I want you to put some more context to it, Mars, because it's not simply a yes or no question. So, for example, the fact that, Chamberlain only averaged 12 shots a game in that series. He only took 10 shots in game 7. In game 7, he only took 10 shots. He made 9 of them. Jerry West averaged, I believe, over 20. I think Jerry West averaged 23 shots a game in that series.
Whose fault is that?
I'm not done. But like I was saying, and the knee injury, he was fine to go back in the game. Coach didn't put him back in the game. He asked to go back in the game. Coach didn't put him back in the game.
Well, dubious does mean suspect here. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead. That's for the people, just for the people. Definition.
You got a dictionary?
Of
course. Hey, Bob.
Go ahead. My bad, Chill. My bad, Chill. Finish
this sounds logic. Because Wilt won in such dramatic fashion. That covered him up all the
time. Let Chill finish. I have another question afterwards.
So again, Mars, he was able to go back in the game. He wasn't allowed to go back in the game. Coach made it clear. Coach Van, I think it's Coach Van der Kolk. He said, quote, tell him we don't need him. Because he said he wanted to go back in the game. Tell him we don't need him. So he didn't put him back in the game in the last 5 minutes of the game. He only averaged, I think, 12 shots a game in that series. Jerry West and Elgin Baylor averaged way more shots than him. So that wasn't Chamberlain's fault. Not at all.
Okay, so in 69, Wilt Chamberlain's shots have been taking a steady decline post Golden State or the San Francisco Warriors. Because Alex Hannum was the one coach who, like, Wilt Chamberlain, I guess, kind of respected. And he changed his game to become more of a playmaker. He wasn't shot chucking as much. So you could see once Alex Hannum comes in, you can see his shot attempts start to go down year on year. And the year he won in Philly, 67, he was taking 15 shots a game in the playoffs. And he was dominating. He was averaging damn near a triple-double, all of those things. Wilt Chamberlain was great. 68, 18 shots a game in the playoffs. Then 69, the whole postseason, he was averaging 10 shots a game in the playoffs. That was not a thing that only happened in the finals. In the playoffs, he was averaging 10 shots a game. Right. Wilt Chamberlain wasn't an aggressive scorer on the Lakers. That's just not how he was playing. He had Jerry West and he had Elgin Baylor. He was deferring to them, dribble handoffs, getting rebounds, putbacks. That's why he was leading the league in field goal percentage every year, because he was just scoring around the basket, not taking too many of the fadeaways he used to take, all of that. His game was just predicated on not taking the shots.
Right.
So I don't think that's a knock. I don't think it's, Wilt Chamberlain was only getting 10 shots because they iced him out. That's just how he was playing in that year. And if you want to say that's a team issue or Wilt issue or whatever you want to call it.
And that's what I was about to ask you. So why weren't they involving him more? Even though in 67, when his shot selection went down because he was passing more, they won, sure. But in 69, with his shot selection going down and Jerry West averaging like I think 22 or 23 shots and Elgin Baylor averaging 18 shots. When you got your big man shooting 90%, why wouldn't you go to him more? Why wouldn't you involve him? This is the greatest scorer of that era, arguably the greatest scorer in the history of the game. Why wouldn't you involve him more than you do in order for us to win? As opposed to, okay, we're going to keep Jerry West doing what he's doing. We're going to keep Elgin Baylor doing what he's doing instead of involving him more. Why wouldn't you do that?
I think because part of the issue, and I can't remember where I read it, so someone might be able to find it and tell me about it. But and this is in the 1970 season, I believe, or in 71, 72, when Wilt Chamberlain isn't shooting, his coach wanted him to shoot more. Wilt Chamberlain wanted to lead the league in field goal percentage. He was turning down shots because he wanted to lead the league in field goal percentage. I don't know, like that's a Wilt issue. Wilt admittedly by his own accord cared about his stats. Wilt Chamberlain wanted to lead the league in field goal percentage, so he would choose not to shoot because there was a chance he would miss. And missing affected his field goal percentage. So some of it's on Wilt. Some of it, I think, is on coaching that we got Jerry West here who can score. So get the ball to Jerry. Wilt, you're the best rebounder in the league. Get some rebounds, putbacks. We'll live with the results. And then 1970 comes around and you actually Wilt short shots go up from 1969. Maybe they realized, hey, we need Wilt to score more.
That one I got an issue with. Game 7.
And then 1970 comes around. Willis Reed is dying and Wilt Chamberlain plays terribly in the Game 7. Yeah, they're intentionally fouling him. He's going 1 for 96 from the free throw line. Willis Reed can't run, and Wilt Chamberlain plays egregiously, and they lose.
I won't argue that one.
In 1970, do you think they should have won that championship?
Yes, they should.
So, however we slice it, if it's 69 or 70 or both, Wilt Chamberlain probably should have had more than 2 championships. And I'm not saying it's all Wilt Chamberlain's fault for his career that he was never winning in 1969.
I'm not going to get 70. Yes,
but like 70 miles. At worst, you think Wilt Chamberlain should have 3 championships.
At minimum, I'll give you 70. Sure.
Yeah, which means that
I'll give you
he won less than you think he should have, which is, I think, kind of goes to Ticket's point. Kind of like how in 2011, people think LeBron should have at least 5 rings because 2011 is when the Heat probably should have won that one. So if you look at it from that standpoint, where you can point to at least one series where the team losing is a large portion goes to something a player did or didn't do, like Wilt Chamberlain in 1917, that Game 7. Or Miami Heat, LeBron James not playing great against the Mavericks, and you can point to that player's shortcomings being a clear reason why a team lost. It makes sense to say, well, this guy probably should have won more because if he did his job in this particular series, they win a championship. So at worst, Wilt Chamberlain should have 3 championships, but he has 2. So he underachieved in just that small regard, I guess, technically. But I don't really knock Wilt more so for only having 2 rings. I just not as high on him as other people. But yeah. Shout out to Wilt.
All right, y'all. Let's take a look back. Well, first off, I want to shout out everybody that's in here. Like the video, join Playback TV. We will be there come Thursday for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. To be announced who's going to be there, though. It should be a surprise, but I know one thing, it's going to be a good game. Also, check out Player's Choice merch if you haven't. Let me do you a favor and put this on the screen so you can scan that QR code right there in the bottom right hand of the screen, bottom right corner. It will take you there, and you'll be able to check out all the fine merchandise that we have on there. And keep your eyes peeled. We got some things on the way for you guys. We got some good finals merch on the way. But with that being said, let's go ahead. It's the NBA Finals. Most wonderful time of the year in the NBA community. Let's go ahead and circle back and see how the Celtics got here. I want to go ahead and run down the last 8 years of the Celtics because the Celtics didn't just get good this season. They've been good for a pretty long damn time. And so let's go back to the 16-17 series. And this is when they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals. And this obviously becomes a trend. They lost to the Cavs, the LeBron James Cavs. Now, this is without Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. This is the Isaiah Thomas.
That's in 17. That's in 17.
Al Horford was there. So they had a good team, but they lost that year. The next year, they go back and they lose to the Cavaliers. The next year, 17-18, they go back to the Eastern Conference Finals. Lose to the Cavs again. And this is the year with Jayson Tatum? Where he's a rookie?
Yes, that's his rook season.
This the year he dunks on him, right?
Yeah, this is the year he dunks on Bron.
Shit, I think they were gonna win that game. If he wouldn't have dunked on Bron and tried like kind of bumped him, I think they had him. But Bron felt that bump, like hold on, and I think he gave him an extra gear.
Did he get ahead of himself? Of course he would have, and you would have too, Bob. Because 3 years ago, 3 years ago you was in high school, and now you dunking on your idol. What? I would have got ahead of myself too. Yes, I would have. If I
would have dunked on Bron like that, I would have got a pick.
Yes, I was in high school 3 years ago, right? I was in high school 3 years ago, and now I'm dunking on the best player in the game. Hell yeah, I would have got ahead of myself. Yes, 100% I would have.
The next year, 18-19, they lost to the Bucks in the semifinals.
Smoked, as a matter of fact. They got smoked. They won game one, and then they didn't win another game in the rest of the series.
The following year,
can we put a little bit of context on it, Ron? I mean, they lost. Gordon Hayward got hurt, right? Gordon Hayward got hurt. Kyrie Irving wasn't very good. Jayson Tatum wasn't very good. Jaylen Brown wasn't very good. This team, that Milwaukee Bucks team, had the league MVP at the time. They were just much better as a unit, much better.
All right, in 1920. They lost in the Eastern Conference Finals yet again to the Miami Heat. You remember this series?
I do remember that series. I actually thought they were going to beat Miami. I did. I thought they had a good shot at beating Miami. Miami, from a talent standpoint, I didn't think that they could match up with Boston. I think Boston, this was their year to get to the NBA Finals, and the series turned, like you said, Ox, when Jayson Tatum dunked on LeBron. The series turned when Bam took the ball out the rim when Jayson Tatum tried to dunk on him.
It looked like he broke his wrist.
He basically took the ball out the rim. The series was completely different. I mean, who am I thinking about? Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker was up and down in that series. Jayson Tatum wasn't as good as Jayson Tatum could be. He was still building. Same thing with Jaylen Brown. He was becoming that dude. So it was definitely different.
And that's obviously the year where the Heat went to the playoff or went to the finals, faced the Lakers, yada, yada, yada. All right, the next year, 2021, they lost to the Brooklyn Nets in the first round. No
Jaylen Brown in that series, by the way. And Jaylen Brown was hurt. Jayson Tatum was able to push that series to 5. I think he scored 50 in an elimination game, and he's able to push that series to 5. So with who did they have at that time? It was Jaylen Brown. I think Al Horford wasn't on that team. I think he was in Philly in 21. I don't think he was there yet. Marcus Smart was there still. So
21. Let me see.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up the series right now.
They had Tristan Thompson starting for them. That's all I remember.
So
the Celtics? Tristan Thompson was in Boston. I forgot all about him being in there, being in Boston.
It was a bad Boston team. They had no shot. Like
they did not.
This is what their roster looked like, and this is what game one started as. Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Evan Fournier, Jayson Tatum, Tristan Thompson. Robert Williams came off the bench. Jabari Parker came off the bench, and check out Aaron Nesmith. He played 16 minutes. Peyton Pritchard was there too.
Who was that crew beating?
Yeah, they weren't beating that Nets team. It was
no, they not.
Injuries are part of the game. Like
yes, they are.
They just lost to it. They were unhealthy. They had no shot. I mean, I think Brooklyn probably would have won if the both teams were fully healthy anyway. But that's just because I think Brooklyn was the best team in the league. But yeah, this series isn't one I'm like holding against anyone. Like, they just lost to the bad team.
I definitely forgot about that whole season. All the playoffs, like it's all coming back to me now. Like
Yeah, the 21 playoffs was eventful. I remember like the KD's the best player in the world. I remember all of those conversations. It was like even though the Bucks won, KD's still better than Giannis. And then 3 weeks later, Giannis is the best player in the world. Like the 21 playoffs was a fun time, man. It was a fun time. It was right. That was the only playoffs before I was on this platform. It was the last playoffs I had as a regular civilian. So
in peace.
yeah, it was the last one where no one could be like, "Oh, you predicted this series." Like that was the last playoffs where no one could hold my picks against me. It was fun.
And so the Boston Celtics lost to the Brooklyn Nets in the first round. Turn back around the next year and make it to the finals. And what do they do to the Brooklyn Nets this next year?
Swept them.
Oh yeah, they. Hey, remember Ron? Who was the only one who had the Boston Celtics destroying the Nets? Who was it?
I try to tell you guys, man.
Oh, here he goes.
I try to tell y'all.
I was here fighting tooth and nail about why it was going to be a 4 or 5 game series. I was like, "Oh, you're crazy, and then interesting."
Seymour,
that
that
might actually no ball.
That was before I came around, Mars, and I want to let you know I would have had your back because I called the sweep.
Sweeping them?
I called the sweep. I was
damn.
Yeah, that's wrong right here. I'm messaging.
I want to say I put money on that. I want to say you put money on a sweep.
Yeah, I got.
So you straight had them mopping them dudes.
I got paid that playoffs just by making a bunch of bets with people, and then but I messaged Ron. I got the receipts. Told him like, "Yo, they about to sweep it. Like this is about to get ugly."
This before the series started.
Before the series started, before the first hit. But that's the return of Al Horford, though. You know?
But all right, so obviously this is the 2022 playoffs.
Yep.
The Celtics make it all the way to the championship.
Yep.
Running to Steph Curry and them, and they lose.
Yep. After being up in the series too, by the way, they were up 2-1 in the series, and then it just went the other way with the drop coverage and Jayson Tatum looking like he never played basketball at a high level before. Them getting just outplayed, out-schemed. They clearly weren't ready for that moment. Clearly.
I think they should have won that series.
I think to be honest with you, Miles, I had them winning that series. Before the series started, I felt like they were more talented. I thought they were more talented. I felt like they were not necessarily better coached, but I didn't think that there was a huge gap between coaches, between Steve Kerr and Coach Udoka. I didn't think that there was a huge gap. So I had them winning that series.
No, I didn't expect drop coverage, but
I thought I was losing my mind when I saw that. I did. I thought I for real.
I still think it was.
I can't believe you.
I think it was a good plan. Like I think it was a good plan. I'm sorry. Like,
oh my God.
I understand this stuff. Like, okay, I understand this stuff. And they lost. Like, so it's hard to say a plan was good when you lost. It's hard to say a plan was good when you lost. But the games in which the game where they stopped playing drop was game 5. That was like damn near the game where the Warriors offense was like at its best when Steph Curry was on the floor. Because then you ended up giving up the 4-on-3 and they were getting torched by Andrew Wiggins. Like the reason they played drop was so that they wouldn't give up the 4-on-3. And it was like, if Steph can make 32-foot threes off the dribble at a high clip, I guess we're going to have to just live with it.
Which he was doing, by the way.
Yeah, but I'm going to be honest. Like, Steph Curry is the only human, other than maybe Dame, who could have punished that defense. It's not regular drop where you're shooting threes on the line.
No,
they're playing
26.
Drop. They're playing drop, but Al Horford is still above the 3-point line in the drop. Right. Like, you know how difficult it is to make threes from out there? And Steph was doing it consistently. Like, there's only so much you can do with your defense. So, like, I understood the logic that went into the decision. You just ended up getting torched by Steph Curry, who refused to miss. So, like, when I say it was a good plan, I mean I understood the idea behind it of take away the 4-on-3, don't give up those advantages on the backside, don't do all of that, and we're gonna have to live with something.
Right.
If Steph Curry's running pick and roll, I guess it's gonna be a 32-foot 3 that we're gonna try and recover to.
Sure.
I understood it. It just didn't work because Steph Curry was on another level.
And then he started to split the double. When they extended it, then he started to split the double, and instead of it being 4-on-3, now it's 4-on-2, And now he's looking for Andrew Wiggins. Now he's getting Draymond. Now he's getting other guys involved. And it's just become a nightmare at that point.
And Robert Williams being compromised didn't help.
Right. That made it he was a much better. I felt like he was a much better defender the next year than he was that year. I think wasn't Robert Williams in 20s. I think he was in year 2 or something like that. Year 2 or
year 3, but he was great in the regular season. He got hurt at the wrong time. And then in the playoffs they brought him back and he was on like the minutes restriction and his mobility was completely shot. Robert Williams wasn't healthy enough to give them what they needed or what they had from him in the regular season. And that kind of compromised their defense as well because he could not move on the perimeter with Steph at all. Not like he could before, but it was bad what they expected from him in 22 after the injury. But I still think they could have won that series. And I think they played on some of the weaknesses of Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum at the time. I think they've both gotten better in those regards. Jayson Tatum's become a better playmaker, better at the rim. Jaylen Brown can go left with more comfortability now. So they're a different team. I don't think they're the same team they were 2 years ago. So
and they're different players too. And they're different players in the sense that they've seen this and they know exactly what I can do in situations, what I can't do, how to take care of the basketball, when to make open shots. I don't think that I'm going to see the same Jayson Tatum in these NBA finals. I don't think that I'm going to see the same Jaylen Brown in these NBA finals that I saw 2 years ago. I think I'm going to see different guys.
I mean, 2 years ago, Jayson Tatum was what, 23?
24.
24?
Yep.
Jaylen Brown was like 25, yeah.
I mean, like, that's like...
Ron, what we not doing? No, Ron, we're not doing that. And the reason why we're not doing that is because we've seen Shaq was 27 in 2000. Shaq was
27 and 25 is different, Chill. It's still a couple years. It's still a couple years.
And Shaq was not the same player at 26 that he was at 28. He was smarter. He was in better shape.
Exactly my point.
He understood the game, and that's why I'm looking at these two guys. Even from a basketball sense. They aren't the same players that they were 2 years ago. I just don't think that they are. I think they're different. And I think that they know that they can't be the same guys that they were 2 years ago. I think they know that.
They're going to get smoked. You going against a pesky Warriors team, my thing is Steph Curry was not going to let them lose that series.
I'm losing to LeBron James, Ron. I'm losing to Kawhi Leonard. I ain't losing to you, yo. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not losing to you. No, I'm not. I'm not losing to you.
There's only Chill says it all the time. There's no defense for someone who can shoot off the dribble from 30 feet.
There's no defense for that. There's none.
And he's making them at the game he was 0 for 9 is when they stopped playing the drop. They still won the game convincingly. Without that game, he's shooting 50% from 3 on 15 attempts. You can't do anything about that. There's just nothing you can really do. So you got to tip your hat to Steph more than I think you have to knock the Celtics. But I think the Celtics were flawed and the Warriors game planned for those flaws. So give credit to the Warriors. The Celtics needed to get better. They got better. But at the end of the day, I think it's a large portion of Steph Curry was just nothing you could do about that.
Nothing.
All right. And then fast forward to the next year, which is last year. And they obviously lose to the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. So now we brought everything full circle. The Celtics... With Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, they've lost in the Eastern Conference Finals 3 times, and Jaylen Brown's lost in the Eastern Conference Finals 4 times. Made it to the finals and lost in the semis and lost in the first round. I'm saying all this to say, you guys probably know my next question. Is this a must-win series for the Celtics?
Yeah,
Ron, I think
you can't justify paying two guys $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? You can't justify paying them dudes $1 billion and not winning the championship. If they don't win this series, I think Jaylen Brown is potentially out of there. And it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me.
We can't keep getting there, Ron. We can't. You are a chef. Everything necessary to cook this meal, you have it. Everything. You got the eggs, you got the milk, you got the seasoning. Everything that you need to cook this meal, you have it. If you burn it, you're the problem. If you burn this and it doesn't come out the way it should, you are the problem. Everything that they need, perimeter defense, they have it. Scoring, they have it. Dirty work guys, they have it. Rebounding, they have it. rotation guys, they have it. Coaching, all of the things that are necessary to win the NBA championship, they have all of it. And the fact that whomever they're running up on, whether it's Dallas, whether it's Minnesota, whoever they play, they have all the things necessary to win the NBA championship. And if they can't do it, if they don't do it, it's not because of injury, barring injury. It's not because of injury. You guys aren't good enough, and we can't keep this group together. We can't.
Mars. Do the Celtics have to win this championship this year after everything that they've been through the last 7-8 years and with the team that they have?
Well, I mean, I think anytime you're in the finals, it's a must-win series. No one wants to go to the finals.
I'm saying, is it more pressure on them than usual?
Well, I think pressure is only determined by if they feel it. Like, people can say there's pressure, but if the Celtics don't feel pressure, then there's no pressure. It's like being embarrassed. Like, someone can't tell you you're embarrassed. You have to feel embarrassment for you to be embarrassed. If the Celtics don't feel pressure, then there's no pressure on them.
Would you make the assumption that they should feel a little pressure just based on their history?
I don't think they should feel pressure. I think they should feel I think if I was in that situation, I would feel happy to have the chance of redemption. I think that's how I would view it. Knowing that in 22, and like I would view it as in 22, we should have won. We weren't at our best, but now 2 years later, we have our chance to show that we're better, and we can show that. But I don't think they should feel pressure to want to do that. I think it should be viewed as an honor. I think you should be happy that you have the opportunity to be able to redeem yourself after falling short. So I don't think they should feel pressure. Now, I don't know the mindset. I don't know how Jayson Tatum deals with those type of things. I don't know how Jaylen Brown or Jrue Holiday, who's won a championship. I'm sure Jrue Holiday is being very vocal in terms of what it takes to win on this stage, because he's done it. He's the only one on the team who's won a chip, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the only.
Who you talking about, Mars?
Jrue Holiday.
He's the only one with
yes.
I think he's the only one who's won a chip. So I'm sure Jrue Holiday's being vocal about what it takes at this stage, especially like to Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown about like what Giannis was doing in terms of how he was coming back from his injury. Just knowing that everything's on the line for 7 games. Just give it all you got. But I don't think it's pressure. I think pressure is something made by fans to kind of give not an excuse, a reason as to why they think a player just plays badly. I think some people do feel pressure, 1,000%. But I think the overwhelming majority, once you've gone through everything they've gone through just to get to that level, get to the league, get to the stage of the finals, play in the playoffs, I don't think outside pressure from Jimmy 612 is really what's fueling them. I think the want to win, the competitiveness, getting to that stage is what the fuel is. I don't think it's pressure to perform, but some people do feel it. I'm sure.
I do think there's a combination, Mars, because I mean we've seen this plenty of times where teams are good and they end up getting to the championship and they lose, and the logic is, all right, they'll be back. When in reality, they never get back. So the fact that this team is here again, there is some pressure for us to win, because 1, ain't no guarantee we coming back again. 2, if we do win, what that's going to do for our confidence, how much better we're going to feel about what we did, and how much better we're going to be next year. Does that mean we're going to win it again? No, but we now know what it takes to win it. And because we know what it takes to win it, that's going to give us fuel to be even better, as opposed to if we lose again, well, that's what we're branded as. We got back again. Ain't no guarantee that we coming back. We may never get back, even though that's a glass half empty mentality, but it's the truth. The idea that we may never get back again. So I think it's a combination of the two. And we are honored to be here. I won't argue that.
Yeah, I think it can go both ways. Like, I do agree with that. You can't take it for granted. Like, not everyone goes to the finals 11 times, or like Bill Russell went 12 times, and Jerry West went 9 times, and LeBron's gone 10 times. Like, not every team is the Lakers, where if you don't go to the finals, the season's a failure. Like, going to the finals is an achievement in and of itself, and not everyone gets to go to a bunch of finals. And so, like, but I think it can be viewed as pressure of we might not get this opportunity again, but it can be viewed as, once again, like, we're happy to be here. We want to be here. We want to show that we deserve to be here, because this isn't guaranteed. Like, this could be the last time we're ever here, so we want to make the most of it. So I don't know these guys personally to know how they're viewing it. Like, maybe one person in the locker room is like, we may never be here again. Now I feel pressure that I have to perform because this might be the only time I'm on this stage. And then someone else is like, hey man, we might not be here again. I want to show out. If this is the only time we're here, I want us to make it count. So like it depends on, everyone's built differently mentally. So like I don't think it's fair for us to say, oh, they feel pressure and they don't feel pressure, because like we don't know what Jaylen Brown is thinking right now. Like
I think there's an immense amount of pressure on the Boston Celtics as a whole, as an organization, as individual players, specifically those main two. Al Horford, thinking about, man, I don't know how many more chances I got left. I've had a great career. I need to top it off with the ring.
He just turned 38, Ox, like last week. I think he just turned 38.
You know what I'm saying? Jaylen Brown, having to deal with just all the chatter, people saying that he's basically a amputee. He has no left hand. Saying that he's stealing money, he's getting paid too much. And I think when you come to that, and on top of that, let's not forget the fact that the world is waking up to the myth of the Boston Celtics. With the team that has won one championship in the past 40 years, to be one of the best organizations in basketball, I'm not too sure about that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I think as an organization, they're like, yo, we need another ring. The Lakers got 5 in the past
20 years.
6. No, they got 6 in the past 20. I'm sorry, because Bron and AD just got down. Yeah, They got 6. I mean, the Lakers are the best organization in the association.
Sure.
As I'm talking about from beginning to end, the Lakers are holding it down. The Boston Celtics, you know what I'm saying? And I know that's just a rivalry fans thing, but let's keep it real. I mean, the Celtics need to do that.
And if we being honest, Ox, if we being honest about the whole thing, they won an NBA championship in 85, 86. And then they won it again in 2008. Right? So in 38 years, that's 2 championships in 38 years. They've only been to the NBA Finals in the last 38 years. They was in the NBA Finals in 86, in 87, 2008, and 2010 to the NBA Finals. So that's 4 times in almost 40 years they've been to the NBA Finals and won it twice. Now, if we're talking about a team, is it they're I don't think that they are this, but they're in that realm of becoming like the Cowboys, like what the Cowboys used to be and what they are today. It's important that they win to get that stink off of them. Get that.
I think they're a little more like the Niners. They're more like the Niners than the Cowboys. I think I'll give them the
Niners. The Niners, we're a little bit different because we've actually, we haven't won it in the last almost 30 years. Last time it's been over 30 years when the bowl game.
Yeah, but they're getting back to Super Bowls and getting to.
We've been to the Super Bowl, I think 4 times in the last 10 years. Yeah,
right.
5 times in the last 10 years we've actually been relevant. But as far as the Celtics, the pressure to win is definitely there. No doubt it is.
Yeah, I think it's an immense amount of pressure, like how Ox said. But did you guys bring up Joe Mazzulla?
No,
pressure on Joe Mazzulla too.
I mean, I don't know. I think Joe Mazzulla's done a hell of a job. He's gone to the Eastern Conference. He's gone to this. I would say Joe, obviously he has pressure. He's a young coach. You got Sam Cassell behind you. Obviously there is pressure around, but I would say honestly, of the whole organization, Joe probably got the least amount of pressure.
I'm not saying it's pressure for his job. I think Joe's job is good. It's pressure because the last coach that was there, Ime Udoka, took them to the finals. So now you know it's kind of like when you step in the shoes of a legend. You have big shoes to fill. I'm not saying Ime Udoka's an all-time great coach and this, that, and the third, but he was in the finals. He was in the finals, and you had to come in and replace him. Last year was underwhelming from what certain people would say. I know it was the Eastern Conference Finals, but people would say if they had Ime Udoka, because people like your friend in the Dominican Republic, if they had Ime Udoka, they go back to the finals. He hasn't looked as good with this team. He hasn't made the adjustments, this, that, and the third. Him getting this finals kind of silences all his critics. If they lose,
wins 14-2 in the playoffs right now. Right? They're dominating,
undefeated
absolute
on the road,
domination,
undefeated on the road.
This has been nothing less than domination. They got one all NBA guy. You know what I'm saying? So this whole super team thing they're trying to spin, it's just hate. It's complete domination, Ron. 60+ wins, 14-2 in the playoffs. They're killing teams.
Yeah.
It's really like KP wasn't even there. It's ugly, bro. It's ugly. Like I'm trying to figure out what I'm missing right now from everywhere with this. And then we keep bringing up 2 years ago. This isn't even the same team. It's not the same team. I hate
That's
this, bro.
true.
Like this
That
Boston
is very
Celtics
true.
team has dominated since October to June. We're just gonna keep acting like this isn't happening.
100%. Yeah, 100%. But they had a cakewalk to the finals, which they definitely
Because they're that good, chill.
Yeah.
Because they're that good.
They've had some fortune. I won't argue that. Yeah, they've had some fortune, no doubt about that. But they still got to win, even if you do have the Indiana Pacers without their best player, even if you do have the Miami Heat without their best player, you still got to beat these dudes. You still got to beat these dudes. And if you don't, which they did, it looks worse.
So I just talked about the last 8 years and how they got here. What I do want to say though is I want to now talk about some of the moves that they made to get to this roster, because I think we can all agree. However you feel about the Celtics, we can all agree that this is a stacked team and they got a good ass roster. But this is some of the things that happened, just in case you forgot. So remember, the Celtics had a couple legends by the name of Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and another legend too, Jason Terry. Shout out Seattle, Washington, Franklin High School. But they had these 3 guys, right? And they traded them to Brooklyn. And when they did that, they got a lot of draft capital and Gerald Wallace. But these draft picks turned into these guys.
I can't believe
they got a 2014 pick, which turned into James Young. Didn't really turn into anything. But then they got another pick in 2016, which happened to be the number 3 overall pick. This turned into Jaylen Brown. Then the next year, they got a 2017 number 3 pick. This turned into Jayson Tatum.
It's actually
It was a number 1 pick that they traded.
Yeah, number 1 overall pick. Yeah.
Number 1 pick that they traded.
Number 1 overall pick.
Shout out to Danny Ainge. Hey, when he traded down, what else did they get in that trade? Do you guys remember?
Another number 1 pick.
Let me.
I'm pretty confident that. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that Sacramento was involved in that too, if I'm not mistaken. But I think they got Phillies. I think they got Phillies first rounder the next year or in 2 years. I think they got Phillies first round pick too. So Danny Ainge should have been charged with a felony for that, by the way. Yes, he should have been. He should have been charged with a felony for that. Man. Yes.
They get the Celtics got a first round swap. Between like the Lakers or something in 2018 or 19. I don't know what the pick conveyed into, so I can't tell you. Right. But they got the number 3 pick, then they got another first round swap, and then that's it. So they could just 3 for another first round pick, but I don't know what the first round pick was. I'll probably look in the 2018 or 19 draft and see what they drafted, and then I could tell you. So
also too, in this package that they got from the Brooklyn Nets, they got a 2018 first round pick too. They ended up trading that pick to Cleveland, but the pick turned out to be Colin Sexton. So that was in there as well. Obviously, fast forward a little bit. Al Horford returns. They go and get Al Horford.
Who by the way, they ended up trading him to Utah. Yeah, they ended up trading Colin Sexton to. I think they traded him to Utah. So, yeah, that was.
Danny Ainge went back and got him. Is what you're saying?
That's exactly what happened.
Okay. And then so Al Horford returns. They go and get Al Horford, Moses Brown, in a second round pick in exchange for Kemba Walker. And they also traded them a first round pick to OKC. Mars, do you know who that first round pick turned into?
OKC.
They traded it to OKC.
It was I remember it was a big deal. I can't remember.
J-Dub.
It's a big deal to you, Mars, because they traded the pick to Houston.
Yeah, and we got Sengun, right? Is it Sengun? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. See. Yeah. That's the future of the league right there.
So they get Al Horford back, obviously. Then they come and get Derek White from the Spurs for Josh Richardson,
that was one of the wildest trades.
and a first round pick, which turned out to be Blake Wesley.
This is when I realized the league was cheating. That and the Porzingis. That's when I realized the league was conspiring for Boston.
That was one of the wildest trades I ever heard of. So you get Derek White for Josh Richardson and Romeo Langford. But that was unbelievable.
And a first round pick swap.
And a number one. And
the first round pick swap, that's in 2028 too.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows what that turns into.
But
then next, obviously, Kristaps Porzingis. Now, they had to let go of a little bit to get Kristaps. They let go of Marcus Smart, obviously, Defensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
And they let go of some draft capital. And they let go of Danilo Gallinari.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up getting more picks back from those trades than they did. Like, they gave up Marcus Smart and got picks. And then they got KP and gained another pick. I don't understand how they ended up getting a pick to get Kristaps Porzingis when they gave up role players. Like, I don't understand how that happens.
That's larceny.
Like, the Porzingis trade is like the Derek White and the Porzingis trade is like, yeah, this is rigged. Like, there's no way they got Porzingis and a pick. That made no sense. But hey, shout to Boston, I guess.
So Marcus Smart's value was just that high. I mean,
but Marcus Smart was to Memphis, and they got picks back from Memphis for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go and trade Porzingis. They get Porzingis from Washington, and Washington give him a pick. Whatever.
When I knew Danny Ainge was definitely a thief when I heard him basically tell everybody that he loved Markelle Fultz. I knew it. He loved Markelle Fultz. Fultz is his guy. When in reality, Jayson Tatum was his guy the whole time. And he got that from Red Auerbach. Because Red Auerbach did the same thing 40 years ago in 1980, in the 1980 draft, when everybody loved Joe Barry Carroll, and Red Auerbach told everybody he loved Joe Barry Carroll when Kevin McHale was his guy the whole time. The whole time. And by the way, in that trade, I don't know if you know this, Mars, but in that trade, Robert Parrish was a throw-in. Yeah, you can have him too. You can have him too. Yeah, knock yourself out. You can have him too. We good on him. So he turns out to be an all-star and an all-pro. Get the hell out of here. I'm good.
And last but not least, y'all, they get Jrue Holiday from the Portland Trailblazers for Malcolm Brogdon, Robert Williams, 14th overall pick in this upcoming draft, and a 2029 unprotected pick. That was the cherry on top to everything.
They made some great moves. So,
yeah.
They definitely capitalized. Yeah, they definitely capitalized on Miami. Because I remember when Jrue Holiday got traded to Portland, I'm saying Miami, pick up the telephone and call up Portland right now. Even though the way that they dealt with Dame was terrible, we can fix this. Call up Portland and ask for Jrue Holiday and ask them what they want for him. Because they're not going to ask for nearly as much as they would have asked for Dame. Nearly as much. So you could have got Jrue Holiday in Miami. That could have definitely happened. But instead, Boston recognized that they're not going to deal with you guys. We can get Jrue Holiday here, who is a better version of Marcus Smart. Everything that Marcus Smart does, he does it, except better, just like he did in Milwaukee when they had Eric Bledsoe. Everything Bledsoe does, he does, except better. This works for us. That's just good GMing. That's great. That's just great GMing, to be honest with you.
But wait. Are we giving credit to the GM or to Jayson Tatum? Because you know the stars build these teams. So is Jayson Tatum like, hey, when it doesn't work out, it's the stars' fault. So like, did Jayson Tatum make these trades? Is Jayson Tatum the best GM in NBA history?
No, it's a combination of two, Musk. I still got to do my job. No,
because I just know when teams make moves, it's all of a sudden it's all because of the star. So I'm just saying, why are we not giving Jayson Tatum credit for these moves? Maybe he traded that number one pick for himself. Maybe he knew.
I don't think he has anything to do with what's going on in the front office, to be honest with you. Nothing.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Also, too, I mentioned all of this. One more piece I forgot. As small as you may think he is, they drafted Peyton Pritchard as well in 2020.
Didn't they get him in the second round? It was a first round or late second?
It was a late first round pick.
Late first round. They stole him too, by the way. Like I think Peyton Pritchard was Pac-12 Player of the Year, some nonsense like that. I think he was the best. Not the best point guard.
Oh no,
he went to Oregon.
He went to Oregon.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he was the best point guard in the Pac-12. I think he was the best player in the Pac-12.
No, he was.
And they stole him in the first round.
Four-year starter, got busy off 4 years, and the last year he took the Pac by storm.
He was there at the same time as Dylan Brooks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Brooks, what's his name?
He was on that team that lost to Duke. I remember that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dylan Brooks, Jordan Bell, and who's the big lanky dude in for the Raptors?
Boucher.
Boucher.
Yeah, Boucher. Yeah.
He went to Oregon?
Yeah, they all played on the same team. Boucher tore his ACL in the Sweet 16 though.
Oh,
otherwise,
right.
chill. I think they go to the championship that year.
If he doesn't get hurt,
I think they got a legit shot at winning it too.
Oh man,
And shout out Tyler Dorsey too. He was on that squad too.
I forgot that.
All right, y'all. So now this leaves us with a team of Jaylen Brown, who's 27, Derek White, who's 29, Kristaps Porzingis, who's 28, Jrue Holiday's 33, Al Horford's 37. Obviously, they're older. Peyton Pritchard's still 26. Luke Cornett's 28. O'Shea Brissett's 25. And Jayson Tatum is 25 as well. Then they got a couple younger pieces too. Jaden Springer, if you count him. Xavier Tillman, he's 25. But they have this young team minus 2 old vets. I got to ask you guys, are they positioned, and you see the title of the show, the NBA's Next Dynasty, are they positioned to be the next dynasty in the league?
We are
Which Mars,
the Bucks and the Nuggets.
Well, they're younger than both of those teams. And they have 4 players under 29 that are pivotal players. I'm asking, in the next 7 years, can the Celtics reel off 3 championships? Can you give me 3?
Same conversation.
I'll indulge in it. The foundation is set for that. The backstory is set for that. I mean, they've faced trials and tribulations. They lost tough series. They've done some impressive things in the playoffs leading up to this. So the foundation is set for it, Ron. I think the canvas is right there. They got the paint. They got the brush. I think if they could just, flick the wrist, I think they can. I definitely think they can be. They got the young guys. They have to win this one right now. They have to win this one right now, Ron. And I think so.
A lot of circumstances. A lot of circumstances have to be in place for them to do that. Because I felt like if Middleton didn't get hurt, I thought Milwaukee was winning it again. I did. I thought they were going to win it again that next year had he not gotten hurt. I thought that if Denver won it this year, I was convinced they was winning it again next year. I was convinced of that. This Boston Celtic team, when you win the NBA championship, there's a level of confidence that you end up having where you can run some things out. You can make a run. The question is 1, are they going to be healthy? 2, are they going to be able to keep this unit together? Because it's hard in this era to keep guys together with the amount of money that's being able to be made in other places. In addition to where you are, but in other places, it's hard to keep units together for a long time, especially when you're building through the draft. You need some things to go your way. The Warriors are evidence of that. I mean, they ended up getting Curry on the cheap for as long as they got him. So it's going to be it'll be interesting to see if these guys can stay together, if they win it this year and they can stay together and they can avoid the injury bug for as long as they can. It's possible.
My thing is just how what's most alarming to me is that Kristaps is 28, JT's 25, Jaylen Brown's 27, and Derek White's only 29 too. Sam Hauser's 26. These are Peyton Pritchard's 26. These are guys that if they keep under contract, they got another 8-year window just with those guys right there.
But to your point, Ox, we can't just if we don't win. So Jaylen Brown's deal is for $300 million. Jayson Tatum's still on the books next season. I think he still got 2 more years on his contract. And if they don't win, it's going to be difficult if you got, $500 million or close to $600 million on your books and you're not winning. It's going to be difficult to justify that. Really to justify that.
That's why I said they have to win right now. I don't think you can justify it.
Yeah.
You're going to be giving these guys almost $700 million. And you don't win and you're paying guys that much. It's not my
hard
money.
to justify that.
I'm trying to figure out how you don't justify it though. Now, okay, I understand.
You gotta win, Ron.
You gotta win, Ron.
I get it. I get it. But I'm saying you got the previous 7 years, which these cats was babies up until this point. Now that's out the window. JT, you've been here long enough. You're 25. You've hit that age. Jaylen Brown, you're 27. There's no more excuses. But my thing is, especially with Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, would you risk breaking them up when you know what they bring to the table? You know that they're two potentially top 15, top 20 players. You know that it's been a formula to win. Now, maybe not a championship, but they've shown you Eastern Conference Finals after Eastern Conference Finals. They've got to their second finals. My thing is, JT's so young in 8 years, he's gonna be 33. Yeah. Jaylen Brown, he's gonna be 35. I'm like, you got a smooth path to at least winning over this next 10-year time. Do you risk breaking that up?
Well, Ron, I don't think I would do it, but because it just depends on who can you get. What can I do? What kind of moves can I make, right? But you know how it goes in the league. Either you pay this much money because you're trying to win championships, or you're one of the owners that's, hey, I'm here to get paid. I'm not too much worried about winning. Let's just keep the books cold. Let's get this money, So which one you very rarely want to be both. I don't want to be spending a whole bunch of money if I'm not winning championships. If I'm not bringing the hardware home and I'm not increasing the value of my team because we're winning championships, you don't spend that much money. That's bad business.
You're not winning on the cheap in the NBA. You're not. If you're gonna win, you're not winning on the cheap in the NBA. It's not happening.
Right. So I would be okay. Maybe let's go one more. Let's give it one more go. Let's keep Jrue, keep KP, and we'll run it back one more time. But after that, Ron, it's no way.
Ron,
you can't justify that.
And remember, Ron, I think that Jaylen Brown's contract doesn't kick in until next year. They got his bird right, so they could go over the cap with him. And with the new CBA, I think that players can't. Those guys under your bird rights can't take up, I think, more than 35% of your salary cap. But again, the salary cap goes up after next year. So guys like Jaylen Brown, and then the salary cap is going to go up again when Jayson Tatum's contract is up. So stuff like that is going to matter, where you can pay these guys.
Yo, chill. Dub just hit me. And he has a Jayson Tatum versus the field agenda that he needs you to answer. So I'm just going to ask you specifically. It could be yes or no, or you could go into it. Is Jayson Tatum better than these guys? First guy, James Harden.
Yes.
At their best, I'm assuming. Not right now.
Oh, at their best? So like 2018 James Harden? No.
Yeah. Is Jayson Tatum better than Allen Iverson?
At his best, no.
Is Jayson Tatum better than Steve Nash?
Nash at his best? No.
Is Jayson Tatum better than Isaiah Thomas? Pistons?
No.
Is Jayson Tatum better than Paul George?
Right now, I'm going to say no. Because I don't think we've seen the best version of Jayson Tatum yet. I don't. You ask me that question maybe in another 2 years. But as of right now, I don't think we've seen the best version of Jayson Tatum. But as of right now, no. I don't think he's like 2018, 2019, Paul George when they was in the East Finals. No, I don't think so.
And last but not least, is Jayson Tatum better than Jason Kidd?
No.
Yo, what's up with Dub with the 6 point guards?
Yeah, I don't know where the list came from. He just said, ask Chill, is he better than these players? All right.
We just be taking questions from anyone now, I guess. Someone in the Telegram group chat, just ask a list and I'll read it out on the panel. You just get free airtime.
Well, if you are in the Telegram group chat, ask them questions and they may get put on the screen, but you have to join the Telegram group chat first. You can't join for a 2-week free trial period. And we talk about a lot of things in there. So you can ask a lot of questions and they might get answered. If not by me, Chill, Ox, Mars, Damo, Dub, et cetera, et cetera.
Speaking of asking questions, Mars, yes or no?
Just did a whole segment for no reason. Just hijacking the show.
I'm going to take that as a yes. I'm going to take that as a yes. Okay, I was just making sure.
Y'all be sure to slap that like button. Become a member if you haven't, and also subscribe to the channel as well. Let's get into these super chats, y'all. Gandhi KV2 said, would you like to see the finals back to the 2-3-2 format? Or how would you change it? Or just keep it the same?
I actually like it, but I actually like it how it is now with the 2-3 with the 2-1-1-1. I actually like that. And the reason why is because like that 3 games, just so you know, Ox, we in, I don't know, Miami. We in Miami for an entire week. We down here for the whole week. So after we come to Sacramento for those 2 games, we come down here on Sunday. We here Monday, we here Thursday, and then we here Saturday. For the entire week we down here. I don't like that. No. I actually like the 2-2-1-1-1. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's fine how it is.
Yeah, I like it this way too.
Yo, I like the 2-2-1-1-1 too. I like that way more than just the 2-3-2.
Man,
yeah.
A whole week. That's what's
I'm not mad at being somewhere for the whole week though, Chill. It's just kind of like
I think that screwed up. I think that screwed up Dallas in 2006. To be quite honest with you, Avery Johnson had to move them from Miami all the way up to Fort Lauderdale. It wasn't working. No,
yeah, getting 3 straight home games is the team that doesn't have home court. Is like,
right. 3 straight home games, momentum, and that momentum, and the 2006 NBA Finals is a prime example. That momentum moved into them going into their building in Game 4. Remember, they were down 2-0 in that series. To go home and win 3 straight and take that momentum into Dallas, yeah.
I think it made sense back in the day, in my opinion. But that's because like you didn't have as many amenities as you have now. Now, like, get on the flight. Who cares? Like, what are we talking about? But back then, yeah, I guess you want to stay somewhere for longer because you don't want to be flying commercial here and there every time. Like, stay in a place for longer and do all of this. But now, you don't need to do that.
I mean, with that being said, though, we do got to care about the Earth. You know what I'm saying? And a whole bunch of extra flights. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, Chill. I'm talking about poison in the air.
You break, Ox.
Make every finals like the bubble. One neutral venue, the whole playoffs. There we go.
One less flight for every team for every playoffs would definitely conserve from CO2 emissions. I'm just saying, like we got to think about the Earth.
Flights a day, Ox.
I mean,
so let's limit it. Let's limit it as many as we can. You know what I'm saying? I just you know, actually, Mars, I'm gonna hold you and your girl accountable. Taylor Swift. Why did I go take it on them flights? She's
I agree.
killing us.
If
she's killing
based
us,
on that, but based on that, instead of them flying private, go get on the commercial flight with everyone else.
She's gonna get nowhere. We're never gonna be able to go anywhere if she's got to fly commercial, Mars. No, because we're not gonna get anywhere.
But let's be. I agree with what he's saying. Like flying all over the place, like it's not good for the environment at 1000%. But then, hey, we need to get rid of these private flights because you get on a whole plane to travel for 2 hours. Go fly commercial with everyone else. We don't need 11 people on this plane adding up emissions when we could just put you on with Steve.
So I don't want to stop anybody from getting where they got to go, Chill. I definitely don't. But I'm saying that if the NBA went back to the 2-3-2 format, they could do their part in saving and conserving the Earth. That's what I'm saying. I think the NBA should step up and be environmentally aware, environmentally friendly. I think we could. I'm saying like we got kids. Who are we leaving the Earth to? You know what I'm saying? Let's leave it better.
Exactly. Who you leaving me? Like
let's leave it better than we found it.
I don't know if you know this, but these airplanes, the 787s and the 777s, they have new engines, which have new emissions, and they have new standards on them. So this ain't 1967. This ain't 1988. These are different airplanes.
I mean, it's still worse.
Exactly. It's still emissions, Chill. And I'm just saying, all I'm saying is, if it means that some multimillionaires can hang out in a 5-star hotel for a couple extra days, and that can help us, leave the Earth a little better than we found it, I'm all for that. Now, I don't want to get in the way of basketball, of course, but
Big Ox.
Yeah, just do the playoffs in a neutral venue.
That one flight Even if they were just to cut the whole
It adds
playoff
up,
to
Ron.
do the
It adds
whole
up.
No, it does not.
It doesn't.
See,
No,
this is the mind. This is the
Yeah,
mindset.
this is
this is the
I'm not gonna lie. I'm
mindset
with you
of
guys. This is the
does
problem.
not.
You guys think the little
Wow.
things make no difference.
No, they do.
If everyone planted one tree, that's 8 billion trees.
Here we go.
So if we cut down
Come
one
on.
flight per
Talk
series,
to him, Mars.
how many series are there in the playoffs? So you got
Talk to him.
eight on each. So you got 4 in the first rounds on each side. Then another 4. So that's 8.
Are
Then
you guys bored
4.
right now?
That's
what it sound like.
That's
what
a
it
lot.
sound like.
I'm trying to talk to the people. I want them to understand that we can all do certain things to leave the earth better than we found
All
it.
right, what
And
are you about to do
it
today?
doesn't have to interfere with your day.
I
June
recycle.
4th, what are you about to do, Ox, to help the earth?
I mean, we recycle. I'm gonna put this in the proper bin.
If I'm not mistaken, you putting emissions in the air today.
No, I'm not. I'm not going anywhere.
So you're not burning nothing to put it in the air today?
Ron, why you keep doing that?
Are you putting
Why you keep doing that, bro?
yes or no?
Ox, you got a
You trying to be-
prescription? Docs, do you have a prescription? Yes or no?
Nah, I'm from California, chill time.
Okay, so I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure.
Wow, Ron, come on, bro. Let's be.
I ain't
come
gonna
on,
lie,
bro.
you
Let's
just go cook. I ain't gonna
Let's
lie.
move on. Let's move on, man.
Are
Let's
you
move on.
recycling today?
Good
I'm
work,
just trying
Ron.
to
Good
figure
work,
out what
Ron.
we
Good
doing.
work.
Well, with that being said, Mars, I plant trees.
And then you smoke them.
There you go. Right, what are we talking about?
God damn.
You
All
started
right,
this,
bro.
Ox.
Come
This
on,
is your
bro. Move
fault.
on.
This is your
I
fault.
was being
You
serious though,
started.
chill. I was just saying, like, I think it will be good because it's another thing, chill. I don't like how the NBA be promoting alcohol because they're like down in Australia, like in the NBL, they don't do that. They talk about not drinking. You know what I'm saying? And in NBL, how was Hennessy? How was Hennessy the official drink of the NBA?
Actually, I thought it was Gatorade, actually, but all right, okay.
I'm just saying, come on. How was Hennessy
It's the official alcohol.
I thought.
I
It
don't
Why
think
would
a
you have
sport-
an
I don't think a
official
sport-
alcohol
I don't
for
think a sports league should have an official alcohol. But I guess. I don't like that they promote gambling, but I mean,
But Budweiser sponsors the Super Bowl. What are we
And
talking
that's
about?
crazy.
I mean, I get fans. Yeah, like obviously at the Super Bowl, fans are going to drink and whatever.
Yeah.
I just don't think alcohol. I don't think alcohol is something that should be promoted at. Period. But I mean,
Ever by anybody or anything.
it is what it is.
With
But
that being said,
I digress.
you guys see this little screen up here? If you are watching and you're affiliated with an alcohol brand, we would love to put a little bottle right there. You see that sliver of orange right next to Mars? Love to put some over there. Sliver of orange right there by Chill and Ox. Love to put something there. And you guys see this little banner right there? Whatever alcohol brand you got.
Yeah, we should stop
Right,
saying
right
what
there.
should and shouldn't sponsor things. We kind of ruining our chances.
Yes, we are.
Anything can sponsor anything. Yeah.
But I brought up the
Can't be
whole
both.
flight thing, and this might be poor taste after us talking about the environment and whatnot. But I actually think it would be kind of dope for every game to flip flop. You guys think that would be doing too much?
Oh,
Of environment aside, let's act like it's electric planes, okay?
okay.
Prius
sure.
planes. Prius planes. Do you guys think that would be dope for it to switch venues every game?
So one game
Or
here,
is that just doing way too much?
one game in Miami, then in Dallas.
I
Then
don't
back
think
in
it would
Miami,
feel
then
like a
back-
home court advantage.
No, it's not.
I mean,
No.
at the end of the series, you would get
Yeah, but if we play,
More
if we go to like I get technically it's home court. Like no matter what, you're gonna end up playing like more home games or the same amount. But like it feels like you're not really at home. You're just always traveling. Like you're not really getting into the series at home. You play a game at home and then you're traveling instantly. It doesn't feel like you have an advantage where you can set the foundation and go up 2-0 because we got home court and then we have momentum in the series. So we go up 1-0. Oh, we're traveling to Dallas now. It doesn't feel like really home court advantage. It just feels like we start the series at home.
If they did that too, Ron, they'd have to draw the series out because you can't do that and then only have
Yeah,
one
you can't play
series.
every other day.
You
You can't play every other day.
You have to
Yeah.
have 2 days in between the games for sure.
I don't think they're playing every other day though. Is it?
In the finals, are they not?
Oh, no.
Isn't it every
Oh,
3
okay.
days?
They play on Thursday, and they play again on Sunday. Game 2 is on Sunday. Game 3 is on Wednesday.
Oh, so they're getting 2 days off.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Okay.
yes.
Because
Oh, this series is gonna be
first round.
crazy.
Mhm,
Oh, okay, interesting.
mhm.
Nice.
That's what's up.
Yep.
A well rested finals. I like this.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Chat, I put up a vote. Want you guys to let me know what format do you guys like? 2-3-2, 2-2-1-1-1, switch every game, or neutral location, aka Disney World.
And by the way,
everyone vote for the bubble ring, man.
And by the way, game 2 is 9:00 on Sunday. So it's not like, you play on Wednesday and then we play Sunday afternoon. You play 9:00 on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2 a.m. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. And then I think Wednesday's game is at 8:00.
All right.
Moving along, LaFlame said if the Celtics played all those teams and they're healthy, nothing would go past 6, and everyone would still be saying it's a cakewalk.
Because the East is weak.
Do you like Big L?
Big L was dope. Mm-hmm. Big L was rivaling Jay-Z before he was killed in '99. Yeah, Big L was rivaling Jay-Z.
Big L was cold.
Mm-hmm. He was dope.
Got a super chat from. He said, when you look at it, most of the greats Luka compares to. When you look at it, most of the greats Luka compares to plays defense. LeBron plays defense, even though he's on par with LeBron's offense. His defense is not even close. James Harden 2.0, better offense.
Yeah, I do think not being a good defender would hold you back when you talk about the greats of the greats. Like, Luka's a transcendent offensive player, in my opinion. So I think he can enter conversations with the other transcendent offensive players. So Steph, James Harden, MJ, LeBron, whoever you consider transcendent. But then when you talk about them as a player, the transcendent offensive players who are also elite defensively, unless you think Luka has a substantial gap over them offensively, which have the conversation, sure, it's going to be hard for you to beat those guys in the conversation. I think that's why Magic kind of struggles, in my opinion, like in comparison to like the other transcendent offensive players, because I think he's the worst defender of like the premier top 10 consensus guys. I think that's why he falls back for me.
Right.
Because like at the end of the day, I think everyone's 99% of people's top 5 are all going to be two-way players, whether that's MJ, Kareem, LeBron, Kobe, Tim Duncan, or MJ, LeBron, Hakeem, Duncan, Kobe, or MJ,
Scotty,
LeBron, Kareem, sure. Like whoever most people's top 5 is, like other than the people who have Magic top 5, everyone was a two-way player. Like you were elite on one end and you were all-time great on the other end. There's not one. Magic's like the only exception who's like he was great on offense and he was not very good on defense, but he gets put in the top 5. So like it's hard to be that exception. Can Luka be it? Maybe, but it's hard to be that type of exception.
But when you're talking about a guy being transcended offensively, like who are we talking about in terms of the gap between Luka and those other guys? Because like you brought up Magic, for example. I think that there's a considerable gap off the strength that Magic, that effort was consistently there. Magic wasn't a great defender. No. I would never argue that he was a great defender. But I do feel like that the effort was there. Even though Magic was going up against Isaiah, he was going up against Dennis Johnson, he was going up against John Stockton and Mark Price and Fat Lever and guys like that, where he was dealing with these guys on the regular during that point guard era, right? So the effort was there. The fact that he wasn't as good, I don't think that should be a knock against him because the effort was there, as opposed to guys like Luka, where the effort, that's the biggest problem. So now we've seen Luka put the effort in, which means we know you can actually do it. And the fact that you haven't done it, that is an indictment on your game, because maybe you could be a lot better than what you're actually showing us.
I don't know about that, Chill. You could put forth the effort, but if you saw it on defense, I'm knocking you for sure.
That part I won't argue, but actually Luka has shown effort, and I don't think Luka is terrible defensively when he puts in effort. I was
talking about Magic. I wasn't talking about Luka. I was talking about Magic.
And I don't think Magic was terrible defensively.
Right. I think Magic was a good defender on top of the effort. But he consistently played defense, and so I understand what you're saying. Like, and when you consistently give an effort on defense, you will be a better defender, obviously, than somebody that doesn't give effort. But if you're just not good at it, I still can't pretend like you are. You know what I mean? But and once again, I've seen Luka play the first couple steps of defense. It's just kind of the after part. Once you get beat, recovering, rotating, getting to the next open man. It's kind of more just dragging around watching after he's played the initial level of defense. If he can step up, I like to see that.
I think that goes to the Shaq thing, though. It's like we're judging. I'm not saying this. We're judging Luka based on, well, he could be better, so he's worse. But like what he's doing, like how good is Luka with the minimal effort you think he provides? I think that's the conversation we should have. Not we're going to move him further down because he could be better, but he's choosing not to be. I get Luka could be better on defense if he gave consistent effort. And sure, I would agree with that. And he'd probably rank higher for people if he did give consistent effort. But I don't think you then move him further down than where he's at right now because he could be better. I think holding someone to they could be better. So because they're not, I'm going to hold them further in lesser regards. I think that's how you end up with people saying, oh, well, Shaq's not in my top 10 because he should have been the greatest, but he didn't try hard enough. But like what Shaq gave you is still better than damn near everyone. So I don't know why you're holding it against him that he wasn't better than what he was when he
which is a fair point, Mars. Which is absolutely a fair point. But when you don't give that, and we know that you can do it, you become more of a well, what if he did do this? This isn't an injury issue, Mars. This isn't a situation where he got hurt and he couldn't perform. Well, you actually can. It's just that effort isn't there. So a guy like Shaq, who as good as Shaq was, I mean, Shaq said it. He said it to me, and I wish I would have listened to him more. Because I didn't think he could be the best center in the league. I told him you could be the best player in the league. And this is when Jordan was running around. I thought you could be the best player in the league.
All right, y'all. Poor One became a member today, so shout out Poor One. Also, Toxic Hoodie has been a member for 4 months. He said, take Luka, Shea, and Curry out. Who's the next best 5 point guards?
Trey, John Morant, Tyrese Halliburton. I think that's pretty easy.
Brunson.
Who else is there?
Yeah. Who else?
And Halliburton.
Am I forgetting someone crazy?
Murray.
Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, and Jamal
Murray.
Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
Nah, you got Dame, De'Aaron.
Oh, we didn't say De'Aaron Fox.
One.
That's right, man. De'Aaron Fox. I think De'Aaron Fox is top 5 point.
Nah, De'Aaron for me, De'Aaron Fox is for sure right here.
You don't think LaMelo with what he was doing before he went down?
I'm high on LaMelo.
Yeah, he was getting busy, Miles. I won't argue that. Health matters, though, man. Health matters. That's why we talk about these guys the way we talk about them, because they're available. We see them a lot. That's why people, Mars, you actually get boiled by this, because how people don't talk about Ja Morant. Like, Ja Morant is gone. Like, Ja Morant doesn't even play anymore. And people don't even talk about him. And why don't they talk about him? Because he ain't around. Not because he's been playing and he's been garbage. Nope, because ain't nobody seen him.
Yeah, it's when you're not around for a while, people forget. It's the same reason why I'm hearing that the best player in the world conversation is just Luka and Jokic. Like, Giannis just died.
Right. Like he ain't even around no more.
It's because people ain't seen Giannis play since early April. They're 2 months removed from the last time people seen Giannis play. It's like, oh, we ain't seen Giannis. I guess he's not that good. Like, it's the same. I always go back to 2020 when Dame was going crazy. Can he shoot better than Steph? Is he better than Steph? Just because Steph was hurt the whole year. So when someone hasn't played for a while, people just be forgetting what that person was. They come back and say, oh, okay. He really good. My bad.
Just so you know, Ox, the prosecution is developing a case on they haven't handed down an indictment yet, but they're putting together a case on Giannis.
Mars don't want people to be human though.
I understand that. I understand recency bias. I understand being reactionary, but I can say what it is and acknowledge it.
But Mars, I love tiramisu, right? But if I don't get no tiramisu for a whole year and I'm eating New York cheesecake, I might get the question in like, yo, I don't know. I think this cheesecake might be better than tiramisu. And then don't let me get a cannoli.
Someone gonna give you a tiramisu, and you'll be like, "Oh, I was bugging."
Right back. You forgot what it was. You got reminded of what it was.
Right. I'm telling you. Look, even in my mind, I'm a dessert fiend. Right. I haven't had a cannoli in almost over a year.
Right.
If you ask me, it's cheesecake clears. But if I go get a cannoli tonight, I'm in love again.
Fellas, I gotta get through these super chats.
Human.
Let's do it, Ron.
Not everyone AI like you.
Huncho, been a member for 9 months. He said, this old man really think Derek Jeter the GOAT.
Just so you know, James B. Barry Bonds hit 250 in the postseason for his career. Eat it, Goofy. I don't care how many league MVPs he got. He had 250 in the postseason for his career. Shut up talking to me about Derek Jeter. He did it when it mattered the most. Leave me alone about Derek Jeter.
Chill. That was Luncho.
And him and his boys, because that's why he brought that up. him and all his boys.
Hey,
Yeah, what
Dude hit 250 for his career in the postseason. Get the fuck out of here.
Chill going down the line. Fuck you.
Every last one of them. Line them all up.
Teddy Hart said, "Save Wemby and Vassell. Spurs should give anything else to get LaMelo while his stock is low due to injury. If that pans out, it's a wrap."
I actually said I ain't say LaMelo. I said what's his brother name?
Lonzo.
Yeah, that's what I
Lonzo.
said.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you could get a guaranteed Lonzo, it would be Lonzo. I think anyone should try and get him. I don't think, first of all, Ron, how do you feel about Keldon Johnson being on the trade block, allegedly?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really feel no type of way. It depends on they trade him.
You liked.
No, I do. I think they should keep him, but that doesn't mean. Well, I think he's a good player. Does that mean I think they should keep him? Not necessarily, because who can you get from?
Okay, but I don't think that's the move for the Spurs. I think, and I wanted to talk about this, but I can't be bothered to make a TikTok. I think that with Wemby, I think when you have a player who can be that transcendent defensively, I think people are so obsessed with maximizing what Wemby can be on both sides of the ball that we're not thinking about maximizing the Spurs. And I think in order to maximize the Spurs, you have to build a defensive unit. It's not, you don't want to go down the Utah Jazz route of, we got a great defender, we're going to put offensive players around him and just hope he can carry the defense. I think you want to build a defensive team so that when you get to the playoffs, you have a defense that no one can score on. So instead of getting a LaMelo who's a defensive problem, or a Darius Garland or a Trae Young, get defenders, and ideally a point guard who can defend and pass. Oh my God, in the draft, Stephon Castle, he exists. Like, he's right there. Just draft him.
That's what I think you're at, Ron. I think their point guard is in the draft. Yeah, I think their point guard is in the draft.
Just draft Stephon point guard?
Yeah.
Have you not heard? His team is saying we're not going where there's already a point guard. Stephon Castle is telling everyone in the league he's a point guard. That's what he said. Like he refused workouts for teams that have point guards. So Charlotte, Houston, etc. He wants to be a point guard. The Spurs need a point guard. Stephon Castle has shown he can pass, has shown he can defend. Now, the shot creation and all of those things probably got to develop. But guess what? We ain't in a rush. We can develop our young guys. So I think the idea is you get defensive guys who can also make decisions. You don't get Trae Young and then have a guy you have to try and hide on defense in the postseason. You get guys who can just play both sides of the ball, and that's how you build around Wemby. So I think that's probably what they should do. So if they get Stephon Castle and then at number 8, I don't know what they're going to look for, but that's what I would do anyway. In fact, ideally, perfect draft, get Ron Holland at 4, get Stephon Castle at 8. Perfect draft, but we'll see what happens.
Darren Foss said Kristaps activated for game 1. The Demon home.
That's confirmed?
Yes, it is.
Boston in 5.
D. Wayne said, so do we agree that the Boston Celtics are a super team or meet the criteria easily?
No,
I don't.
Nope.
I was told when the team is made by the front office, it's not a super team. It's only when players join up. That's what I was told. So Boston wouldn't fit the criteria. Unless we're changing the criteria again. I don't know, because when the Lakers had a super team, it was fine because it was drafts and trades. So it was fine.
I got a flight. I'll see you dudes tomorrow.
You got a flight?
Out. No, I got a flight. I'm out.
I thought he was going to the finals. I
was about to say, chill, like, you're supposed to be planting trees and stuff like that and recycling.
I ain't doing that. I'll get with the dudes later. Out.
All right, chill. Indy CDC said Boston adjusted to a zone when TJ McConnell played, almost like a 2-1-2 with Jrue in the middle roaming. Really affected my Pacers.
They've been doing that all year. That's something they've been doing. Drew's like playing center in the zone. It's very, Joe Mazzulla's a good coach. I don't know. He overhated.
It's just the cock eyes. That's all it really is.
His eyes look like
Irregular said, Chill trying to compare Mavs playoff run to the Celtics run is nasty.
He did that today, or was that yesterday? I can't remember. Because yesterday he was talking about like, okay, he's a bunch of kids, and I was like, oh, okay, interesting.
Like what Mavs playoff run? I'm not super impressed by this Mavs playoff run. It wasn't. I'm not gonna say it was a cakewalk, but I don't think it's like it was super tough or nothing like that.
Logan Masike said, "Do you guys think Luka will be fueled by the Celtics fans' hate? It seems like Luka plays best when people trash talk him."
Yeah, I think that motivates him. I said I don't know what slurs they're going to come up with. I'm curious. I'm going to start looking up Slovenian slurs just so I can assume what the Celtics fans are going to say. But I'm assuming something will motivate him.
It's going to be dope to see Luka and Kyrie in that environment. I can't wait to see how it goes. Gunny Elneck said the Celtics can be soft and still win. Logan Masike said Luka literally first team NBA since he was 20. Shaking my head.
Yep.
Gunny Elneck said, "Can we move on? When did you have this complaint about LeBron, Chill? Luka is clearly the best player in this series. We are far past Jayson Tatum convos."
In about 2.5 weeks, we'll see if we're far past Jayson Tatum convos.
This is going to be hilarious, Mars, because in 2 weeks, it's good. This whole next 2 weeks is going to set a whole narrative for the summer and the next couple years to come.
Yeah, it's going to be exhausting. I mean, it's going to be great. Yeah, it's going to be great.
I got a lot of dentist appointments coming up this summer.
Tito El Bandito said Luka potential top 3. Tatum trying to crack the top 7. The gap is definitely there. Feels like Kobe versus Pierce type beat.
Don't hate it.
FIFA Boy said, like this super chat if it's still El Lambo.
I liked it twice.
Oh, you liked it twice, W?
I definitely liked it. And his name is Scambo, FIFA. It's not Lambo, it's Scambo. Get it right, man. Reggie the Tree said, "Hey, guys, what's the better story? Kyrie winning without Bron? The net stuff? Without Bron and the net stuff? Or Luka winning his first? Or Tatum finally winning? Stay encouraged, guys."
The best story is Al Horford win. I think he got the most play. I think he got either the most playoff games without a championship or the most playoff wins without a championship. It was something they showed. That's the best story.
Games.
The best story
most playoff games without a chip. Al Horford.
A Kyrie Irving Finals MVP, or even better,
Jaylen Brown.
Derek White Finals MVP. Hey, I'm here for the Derek White Finals MVP.
Oh, you talk about nasty agendas. And last but not least, DSG Piccolo with the super chat. He said it's my birthday, so I wanted to show some love. Also, Topic said it's not fully healthy yet.
Topic, NBA draft prospect.
Topic. Yeah. Nikola Topic said he's not fully healthy yet. How far do you think he'll fall?
I'd be surprised if he dropped. Okay, I know everything I just said about defensive guards. I'd be surprised if he dropped back below the Spurs at 8. I'd be surprised. Memphis wouldn't take him at 9, and then 10 and below seems a bit crazy. I think 8 would probably be the furthest he dropped.
Because you think the Spurs take 2 point guards? Or do they take
I don't know what the draft is going to do. I'm hearing that Risa Shea is confirmed to go top 2. If Atlanta don't take him at 1, Washington are taking him. So Risa Shea and Alex I think is the top 2.
I like more and more with Washington too. I think that's a good look for them.
I think the more and more, like, no matter how I feel, Reed Shepherd looks like he's going number 3 if Houston keep the pick. So then for the Spurs, the Spurs can go any direction that helps Wemby. Like, that's what they can do. So if that's a wing like Ron Holland or Buzelis, or they could go point guard, Dillingham, Stephon Castle, Topic. They can go anywhere. They can go any direction they want. 5, the Pistons just need Jesus. So whoever's available for them that can provide divine intervention. I'm assuming Cade is safe, and then I don't think they're going to take a big. I don't think they'll take Klinger. So they'll probably look at a wing. I'm assuming Buzelis or Holland, whichever one.
If I'm them, it's a coin. I'm taking Buzelis, but it's a coin flip. I don't think they can afford to let either of those guys go.
Yeah,
but hold on, no. What do you think about Reed Shepherd going to the Pistons though? If he falls,
they need shooting. If Reed Shepherd, as a Houston fan, I want Ron Holland. So yeah, ideally, we just take best player available, Ron Holland, and then Pistons get Reed Shepherd. That's great next to Cade because I think Jaden Ivey. I think Domo was right. I think Jaden Ivey doesn't work. So Reed Shepherd next to Cade, just for the spacing, that makes sense. Monty Williams either gets fired or figures out how to use his team, and you can build with that, and then you just try to get a franchise guy next year, because Reach-Up is not a franchise guy. So he's just a building block, which I think is cool. But getting the 5th pick 3 straight years and you've got no franchise guys out of them when you've been the worst team in the league, kind of tough.
Maybe just trade for a star. Maybe they could put up the ghost of Ben Wallace and Rashid. They can put up one of them old championship rings from 2004. They could put up James B's mama's house. And then Thompson. Oh, no. A sword. And then they go get some.
Don't you dare say mental.
But DSG, happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday, DSG.
Oh, yeah. Facts. Happy birthday.
Hey, matter of fact, DSG, I know you out here in the Portland area, man. Meet me at Spice later on. Hit me on IG. Hey, hit me on IG, DSG. I'll meet you at
DSG,
Spice.
I'm in Portland too.
around 11 p.m. I'll meet you at Spice. Hit me up, DSG.
All right. Well, we got to get to open gym. Mars, I'm sorry for running 10 minutes over, but that was a good 10-minute dialogue, though, right? That was the best 10 minutes of the show, if you ask me. But
I mean, any 3 hours and 9 minutes with me is great. So,
hey, well, see you guys later on my Instagram live at Spice with DSG Piccolo for his birthday. Other than that, like the video on the way out.
DSG don't live in anywhere near Portland. I thought he was from Portland. Guess not. Oh well, I'll be at Spice later on celebrating your birthday, DSG.
All right, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.
Hey, y'all, chill out on all them flights, man.
Hey, we got some